What's up, y'all? It's party time. I just hit the live button, and now we're live on a lovely Tuesday evening. How is everybody doing out there in YouTube land? Tonight's going to be one of them episodes, and Zach W., before the stream even began, he says, love the shill busting episodes. Well, I don't know if I love them, but I do enjoy busting shills. And I think it's necessary. And tonight, I'm going to show you why it's important. Because these shills, whom's balls I'm going to bust and have busted in the past, they aren't just regular know-nothing shills. They aren't just bottom of the barrel random nobodies. These guys are used for major psychological operations. They already have been used in major psychological operations. You know, like covering up what this place is, making the topic of this place not being a globe look stupid, throwing the flat earth under the bus, right? Yeah, so these guys who I talk about, sometimes I get accused of wasting my time. Jake, I don't know who Jeran is, and I don't care. Well, I'm going to show you why these guys are less than 6 degrees of shill separation away from Donald Trump and Elon Musk. Yeah, less than 6 degrees of shill separation away. Yeah. In fact, I'm going to show you how close these guys are connected, all to one big, gigantic shill syndicate. When you start drawing connections from one guy's name to the next, as far as them knowing each other, talking to each other, promoting each other, you start to draw lines that connect to one, that connect to the other, that connect to the other, all the way up to Trump. Let me make it obvious for you. Joe Rogan said Jeran Campenella's name. Had someone on his show that said Jeran Campenella's name. Joe Rogan has had Elon Musk and Donald Trump on his show. So if they say the name of Jeran Campenella on the same show where they interview Trump and Elon Musk, not too far away. That means these names might be more important than you think as far as players in this big evil game. So when I talk about these guys, Dave Weiss, Jeran Campenella, if you've never heard of them, I'm going to teach you who they are tonight. I'm going to show you what they've been involved in and what they're probably going to do in the future. That's right. Tonight, I'm going to spill the shill beans for what I think their next move is. So strap in, kiddos. It's going to be a good one tonight. And I specifically am not wearing the hat because I'm being serious tonight. It's more of a serious show. It's going to be a little more on the dry side, not as much wackiness and zaniness as usual. Sometimes I got to handle some business. Shill busting business. Sunflower says, who are you going to call? Shill busters. If there's something weird in your neighborhood, boom, boom, who are you going to call? Shill busters. There's something strange and it don't look good. Who you going to call? Shill buster. All right. I got to watch it. If I allow myself, I'll just start turning the whole thing into a big giant comedy show. All right. Thank you, Sunflower. I appreciate that. Timothy said, were you late because you had to shapeshift back from bare knuckle boxer to Jake? No, actually, I was busy doing some Nick Johnson work. So, no, bare knuckle boxer guys tomorrow. Yeah. So, no, I was busy being Nick Johnson. Had to quickly shapeshift over here from North Carolina. I had to tell my wife I was going to go do some stuff and I'll be back in a day or so. She was like, what? Where are you going? Nowhere. And then I zipped over here. Anyway, those who get it, you get it. Those who don't, well, you don't. All right, Lemming in a shiny metal box said, greetings and salutations, Sir Jake. I trust you have plenty of dry powder in the barrel this evening. Dude. And I handwrite my own shit, my own notes. So it's like, this isn't so much a script. It's just me writing notes to keep myself on track. Because there's so many different video clips and different things that I wanted to hit tonight. And since it's personal, since this David Weiss character has lied about me on several occasions, including recently, my name came up and David Weiss said I was psyoped by some Globe Earth channel. Yeah, he said that I was psyoped. Oh, okay, David Weiss. I want to tell people that I was psyoped. Yeah, he won't even say my actual name, Dave. It's like he's been told not to actually say my name. And if anyone else brings me up, he throws me under the bus and quickly moves on. So tonight I'm going to expose where Dave stands as far as the Flat Earth cult community is concerned. And some of his business partners like Jeran. Yeah. They're friends still. They're fake feuding right now, but they're still friends. I'm going to bust all that shit. Jen No Fear with a super sticker. All right. You guys are coming in strong tonight with the super chat love. Getting pumped. All right. And One Baller says, I saw a video of you outside Starbucks recording people and getting pressed and physically threatened by a Hispanic guy. Go watch the BitChute video in its entirety. Go to the my most viewed BitChute video, and you can see the whole video. I end up calling him a libtard bundle of sticks word to his face over and over and over and over again, and then he walked away. But there was like 10 people who joined his side. I swear I was up against like at least 7 fucking people, all against me, because I confronted a dude in a mailbox suit who was waving a Gavin Newsom sign. So if you watch the whole video, I wanted to talk to one guy in a mailbox costume. And then it turned into a Hispanic dude randomly trying to fight me. And then it turned into 4 or 5 other people wanting to join the Hispanic dude. And then it was me filming the whole thing, standing there, calling them a libtard bundle of sticks word. I'm trying not to get demonetized. So, yeah, I couldn't show the video here on YouTube, but I posted it over on BitChute. And many of my hardcore followers have seen the video. He didn't beat me up. He didn't scare me. I was worried he was going to take a shot at me and I was going to throw down. And whenever I'm about to throw down, I get shaky and nervous because I know what I'm capable of. And I know what happens when I have to throw down with someone in the streets. That means I got to turn into a crazy dude and bust people's faces, and then cops get called. And yeah, so I didn't want to be considered the guy who started the whole thing. And I had 10 people against me. A little sketchy. But if you watch the video, I totally held off like all these people at once. Anyway. So yeah, go watch the video on BitChute and you'll see the entire thing from start to finish. I know there's a guy named Jeran who thinks he can clip that video and make me look like I was scared of some random dude who jumped into some shit. But no, if you watch the whole video, I called him lots of names to his face until he walked away. Anyway, thanks, and One Baller. All right. So I'm glad we got all that out of the way. Oh, looks like Kevin Arnold sent one, and I almost missed Kevin Arnold. From Wonder Years, of course. Kevin Arnold from Wonder Years. Not really. But I like to say so. Says, super chat match me tonight. Super chat match tonight. Money sign. Yeah, super chat match Kevin tonight. Money signs. I agree. All right. You guys ready? You guys ready to let the shill busting begin? I know we're going to have some onlookers tonight who don't like me and aren't going to want to hear this. Oh, almost forgot. I had 2 super chats that I missed from last stream. So before we get started, I want to give a shout out to Lady K, who sent me a super chat. Longtime subscriber, apparently, and I missed her super chat. She said, "You are crazy. We love you so much. Ha 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 ha." Sorry I missed her super chat last time, Lady K. Hopefully you see this. And then I missed another super chat from Dcran4D. Dcran4D said, "Can't wait for you to roast Joe Rogan." Well, tonight, Joe Rogan's going to come up because he's going to get connected in the 6 degrees of shill separation. That's right. Joe Rogan is the connectors between Trump, Elon, and Jeran. Alex Jones. Alex Jones has had Dave Weiss on his show and Eddie Bravo. See what I'm saying? So like when you go down the line to the bottom shill, you can connect it right back real fast. See? All right. So without further ado, let's let the shill busting begin, shall we? And Dave Weiss, you can kiss my ass. Before I even get started, Dave Weiss, if this ever gets to you, if you watch this, just know you're the con man and I'm the legend. You can con people into thinking you're a legend, and you've got enough money to trick people into thinking you're a legend. But deep down, you'll always know you're the fucking con man. And I am the fucking legend. The real one. And no matter how much more money and toys that you have than me, yes, you're way more rich than me. You've got your yacht and you go on your fancy vacations and you live in a fucking mansion in a ritzy shitbag scumbag neighborhood where the average house is $2.5 million, Greenwich, Connecticut. Yeah, Dave. Just remember, this dude right here who runs his little stream out of his office is the real deal. The guy you have to fucking use money to pretend to be. You have to steal money and pretend to be legit like me. And you got to use all of your wealth in order to pretend to be a fucking legend. I don't have to pretend. You're staring at the real deal, Dave. So with that said, let's roast this motherfucker. I find this to be highly, highly disturbing that anyone is still left following this man. I find it highly disturbing anyone would download his tracking app.
Our app just went next level. You are now able to find Flat Earth app users near you. See where they are and send them an instant message in the app. Instantly arrange for a Flat Earther meetup. When activated, blue dots mark the location of the app users near you. You have 3 choices on showing your location. PP, to pinpoint. This marks your exact location. CC, for city center, which will place you within a few miles of your current location. Or turn off, which removes you from the map altogether.
His Flat Earth tracking app, which is not only a debunked AE map, but it keeps track of flat earthers. You know, a little blue dot on the map. All right. So I want to point out Dave Weiss is the one behind the tracking app, which has been reported from Jeran now and from other sources that it leaks user data, including like where you live, your passwords, stuff like that. So imagine Dave knowing where you're at and what you're doing, basically. And even if you turn off the location, it makes that blue dot go away on your screen. But imagine if Dave still knows where you're at if you have that app. If you have that app downloaded, you better delete it. And you might consider getting a new device because that app right there has been said to leak user data by people close to Dave and by people who don't like Dave. So if you look into Dave's app leaking data, you'll find evidence that supports that statement. Also, do you really want Dave to know where you're at all times? And do you really think turning it off stops him from knowing where you're at once you've accepted the terms of agreement and downloaded that tracking app? You think it really stops tracking you on his end? No. So, do you really want a millionaire at the tippity top of the flat earth grifter cult who's part of law enforcement, my guess, tied back to some law enforcement? Couldn't tell you which branch, CIA, I don't know. But Dave's definitely a shill, and he's the richest shill. And he's basically the most famous shill in the flat earth community. So when I say he's the richest shill, I'm talking about as far as flat earthers, people whose job it is to just talk about flat earth. Yo, I don't just talk about flat earth, but Dave does. Mark Sargent does. There's guys who only talk about flat earth. And they're the ones who get called by ABC, NBC, Fox. So Dave is one of those guys that does major mainstream interviews. Dave has been on Roseanne Barr's podcast. He's been on Jim Breuer's podcast. He's been on Alex Jones' show, Infowars, multiple times. What more do I got to tell you? You tell me someone's been on Infowars, that's an instant dismissal from me. Instant discredit. Forever. But Dave's followers don't mind that he goes and hangs out with Roseanne and Jim Breuer and Alex Jones. Yeah, I wonder what Dave knows about Alex Jones being replaced. I bet you he won't say nothing about that. Suzette Ann said, Jake, did you get the 600 from TED TV? I did. And I also had some weird things occur. So Ted somehow got hidden. So I don't know if one of my mods hid him, but I'm going to tell my mods, don't hide anyone. If you need to put someone in timeout, if they're mouthing off to me, that's fine, but don't hide anyone. So I'm not sure if one of my mods hid Ted, but he was talking, donating, and then his channel got hidden. And then another guy who donated several times, Gust Mamaunis, who donated several times, he somehow got hidden as well. And he didn't have anything bad to say or weird or negative at all. Very supportive. And somehow he got hidden. So when I found this out, I unhid them. And I made Gust a moderator to make sure it doesn't happen again. And I talked to Ted a little bit, and then Ted gave me some really weird vibes. So I'm not sure what's up with the Ted guy. But yes. So tonight, I wanted to tell you why these characters are integral parts of a big, gigantic shill network. And they're doing some evil shit, and they're actively taking place in a psychological operation. So you can't just dismiss them as some random dudes. So when guys like Ted are like, why are you talking about random guys? It's like, I'm going to tie these dudes right back to like Trump and Elon here in a minute. They aren't just random dudes. Random dudes don't have an app that makes them millions and tracks all of their users and steals their data. That's not just a random dude shit. And the fact he's able to get away with it means he's part of some huge operation. And, you know, he shot his mouth off about me. He thinks he's untouchable. Well, the truth can touch anyone, Dave. So if I can cost you, you know, a few $1,000 lost on your app by getting people to stop downloading your app, jump off of your app, well, hey, I'm taking a few pennies out of your pockets, no matter how deep they might be. All right. So let me get back on track here. Speaking of on track, Dave's got a tracking app that he's still running that leaks data, but people don't mind.
For City Center, which will place you within a few miles of your current location, or turn off, which removes you from the map altogether.
His flat earth tracking app, which is not only a debunked AE map, but it keeps track of flat earthers. You know, a little blue dot on the map so he can tell where you are and what you're doing. If you have ever downloaded any application by Mr. David Weiss deep inside the rabbit hole, I highly suggest you delete it and get rid of your phone as well. But that is just some of my own personal advice. You don't have to take it. Do with that what you will. Now, I wish this was all that David does, but no, he also likes to stick up for sex offenders, convicted rapists, such as Authentic Intent Joshua Swift. It seems that David Weiss thinks that a 35-year-old man graping a 14-year-old is perfectly acceptable. In fact, David Weiss shames the victim, a 14-year-old girl who was graped by a 35-year-old man, Joshua Swift. So this guy is a convicted sex offender. He graped a 14-year-old girl. And then Dave Weiss victim shamed the victim and said she lied and said she was 18. Basically sticking up for this individual right here. Yeah. And I have the proof. Authentic Intent.
So here's David Weiss on Facebook. That whole thing about Josh is pointless. The girl lied and said she was 18. As soon as he found out, you mean after their 6-month relationship?
So this fella Josh courted a 14-year-old girl. It wasn't like a one-time thing where he tricked her into meeting. He like courted this 14-year-old girl and then sent her flowers after she stopped talking to him. And then the mom of the girl found the flowers and was like, "Why are you sending my 14-year-old daughter flowers?" She got law enforcement involved. Bada bing, bada boom. He goes down. He's basically a paper-worked chomo. And he got to be a speaker at the International Flat Earth Conference run by Robbie Davidson with sidekicks David Weiss, also one of the speakers, who victim shamed the girl. Oh, Dave, you've got that big boat, so you don't care if I tell people about this, right? Dave goes on fancy vacations and lives in a mansion, so he doesn't give a fuck if I tell you how much of a scumbag he is, because he's got such a big boat. Yeah, if you go tell Dave about any of this, he'll be like, "Thanks for talking about me." That's what he does. That's what Dave does when you confront him with any of this. That's how fucking evil he is. He knows he's in the club. Dave is in the club, hangs out with Roseanne, Alex Jones, the OG Alex Jones, right? The Bill Hicks Alex Jones, that one, right? On multiple occasions. If you try to pinpoint this dude, he'll be like, "I was out on my boat all day long in the Bahamas. Have fun living in your office." That's what he does. That's the type of evil motherfucker we're dealing with. The type of dude who would stick up for a sex offender, right? The type of dude who would have this dude's back after he grapes a 14-year-old. Authentic Intent.
So here's David Weiss on Facebook. That whole thing about Josh is pointless. The girl lied and said she was 18. As soon as he found out, you mean after their 6-month relationship? Okay, so David, what if the girl was 14? Actually, she was 14. What if the 14-year-old girl said, "I'm 19, can you get me some cigarettes?" And he did. And then Josh had a record. Would you say, "Oh, that's pointless, the girl lied"? Now, this was the guy who was just on Alex.
Look at this picture. You got Karen B sitting on the lap of David Weiss at the conference, right? David Weiss is high up the chain. I know Robbie Davidson is credited for setting these up, but he's just some pawn in the puzzle. Dave Weiss is the big dog with the mansion and the yacht who goes on the fancy vacations, lives in Greenwich, Connecticut. Go look up Greenwich, Connecticut in a sidebar right now. Everybody at home in a sidebar, type in Greenwich, Connecticut, and then look up how much houses cost there. And that's where Dave lives. Who else do you know gets to go hawk their app on Roseanne's show and on fucking Alex Jones' show and lives in Greenwich, Connecticut in a mansion and has a yacht and shit? Seems to me you can't be a legit truther if you hang out with Alex Jones and you go on Roseanne's podcast and you were friends with Jeran for a long time and you live in a mansion in Greenwich, Connecticut, and you still have an app that's been said that leaks data. Yeah, you can't be legit if that's you. But that's Dave. And you know what? His followers, they don't seem to mind, I guess. They're like, Dave's a legend. He woke up so many people. I'm starting to think maybe those are bot comments. Maybe Dave's comments that talk about how legendary he is are fucking bot comments. Because I don't see a legend at all. I see a fucking scammer fraud.
Jones. And it looks to me like the cult has decided that if it has to, it will sacrifice a 14-year-old girl to preserve its own integrity.
You can see David Weiss speaking at these conferences. You can see Jeran speaking at these conferences. You can see Mark Sargent speaking at these conferences. They couldn't find it within themselves to distance themselves from a child predator. So they welcomed with open arms a child predator known as Authentic Intent and gave him a spotlight. Authentic Intent's just one guy. They also had another fella, Matthew Priscilla, aka ODD TV, who's currently locked up in prison because he violated his parole, got caught with some pills. But he was in the midst of working with David Weiss. The last thing ODD TV did before he got locked up was a live stream series with David Weiss. They got about 6 episodes in. The last one they did had Eddie Bravo, ODD, and Dave Weiss all hanging out together. Oh, and Sean Hillebrandt or whatever his name is. Hill whatever. Yeah. So all these dudes are connected in one big shitbag shill circle. At the 2018 Flat Earth Conference in Denver. So they all welcome a child predator in with open arms. Dead. Real dead? Fake dead? Couldn't tell you. So let's... Still involved in the operation. Child predator. All right. Quite the resume, right? When you look at the International Flat Earth Conference... Go over what we've learned today. The conference lineup, Patricia Steer, she turned her back on the Flat Earth multiple times. She left the Flat Earth community, said she was getting too much hate, came back just so she could say, oh, Earth's a globe and it's not flat. So this Patty Steer one left, came back and left again. And Jeran uses her as a reference to someone else besides himself who flip-flopped from flat Earth back to globe. So now Jeran can say multiple people have flipped, like Patty Steer. Oh, and Robbie Davidson. Yeah, the one who set up the Shill conference. Yeah, he flipped. Wow, how about that? Who else flipped, Jeran? Yeah, it's all people tied back to Jeran and these shitbags who flipped. And Dave won't expose any of his colleagues. So now Dave has to pretend he's against Jeran, and Jeran has to pretend he's against Dave. But neither one of them will truly expose each other. It's because they're still friends. At these conferences, you can see Mark Sargent speaking at these conferences. They couldn't find it within themselves to distance themselves from a child predator, so they welcomed with open arms a child predator known as Authentic Intent. All right, so we'll move on to the next piece of evidence. What do you guys think, huh? Hibbler. Yeah, it left my mind. Yeah, that Sean Hibbler guy. Total shillbag. Shills of a feather flock together. He's always been aligned with shills. So Dave was wealthy and lived in Greenwich, Connecticut before he even had the app. So he's just become even more rich, more of a baller since he attached himself to the flat earth. So imagine this. If you want to make sure you have control over like one of the biggest secrets, wouldn't you want the biggest dog at the tippity top of the flat earth movement to be totally controlled under your thumb and have a tracking app so you can keep track of all the flat earthers who jump in? Oh, and leak their data, steal their data, harvest their data, sell their data, yada, 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 data. No, Jake, the government would never pay anyone to do something so diabolical like that would work like a charm. No, they did. That's exactly what they did. The government, somebody pays these dudes to dupe a shitload of people and pretend to be fucking leaders in a truth movement that they can milk and drive into the ground and make it look stupid and keep tabs on anyone who does jump in, who is real. Understand? All right. So let me get to Dave Weiss talking about me. So I wouldn't have said nothing. I've exposed this guy in the past, you know. No matter what I say, he's still going to be there. He's going to keep doing what he does. But since he decided to open his mouth about me again and lie about me again, well, got to set the record straight, because that's what I do. I set the record straight. So Dave Weiss did an interview, and my name got brought up. They wouldn't say my actual name. They wouldn't say Jake Gibson. They wouldn't say Jake the Asshole or Flat Earth Asshole, but my name got brought up. I was brought up as Flat Earth Jake. And then Dave proceeds to say that I was psyoped by some Globe Earth channel. So I'm going to show you Dave saying this lie about me, and then I'm going to correct it. And I'm going to debunk Dave's ass. And then I'm going to spank him publicly. All right. Let's see. 146. All right. Got a super chat, said 360 in the chat. Hit the thumbs up. Yeah. Hit the thumbs up if you enjoy this content. Not everyone enjoys the shill busting stuff, but I got some juicy info that I'm going to get to, and I'm going to point out what these guys' future plans are. So those of you who already know about Dave, you already know about Jeran. I'm going to do a little bit of quick review, but then I'm going to get to the new stuff. I have a real good idea of the next move that they're going to use, Jeran especially. And I'm going to go ahead and get in front of it. And if I'm wrong, oh well. Sometimes I miss. But man, if I hit the target really early, it's going to make me look that much more of a legend. Thank you, Shady Davey D, for suggesting everyone hit the thumbs up. Elliot Mole says, where does Russian Vids stand in all of this? That guy's another shillbag liar, and I'll get to him in another video, another stream. Tonight I want to focus on Dave and Jeran, because they're still friends and they're pretending to be in a feud. So I want everyone to know their pretend feud is bullshit. Fake as a pro wrestling feud. All right. Elliot Moles. Yeah. Russian Vids. I have several debunk videos on Russian Vids. He's a nameless, faceless coward. and I know his name. And if I give his name, he can get my video taken down because he's a shill bag and he files a legal complaint. If I show his face, he gets the video taken down. But let's just say Ben denies proven facts like where the sun rises and sets. So Russian shillbag will say that the sun never rises from the southeast and sets to the southwest. It just doesn't happen. When it provably does happen every year, south of the Tropic of Capricorn, which debunks his simplistic circling sun model. He just denies it. So even when you show him proof of someone south of the Tropic of Capricorn debunking the sun's path, he'll just deny it. And then his followers are okay with that because his followers are tards. Anyone who follows Russian vids and is still sub to him and listens to him is a retard. Simone Bettina says, hey, Jake, Ralphie, and everyone. I'm back in a little bit. Hope I didn't miss Ralphie. I haven't shown Ralph because he's been laying down. He's taking a nap. But perhaps in a little bit, I'll pull him out. Tonight, I'm doing some shill busting, keeping it mostly serious and setting the record straight. So I'm not trying to get too wacky or zany. I'm trying to let the truth out and let the truth run wild like a mighty beast, because there's some shill bags out there who really hate it when the truth gets out and runs wild. And once the truth starts running wild, well, you can't really put it back in the bottle. All you can do is lie some more to cover it up, which is what he'll do. So yeah, so tonight I'm just busting David Weiss and Jeran. And so far, I've just recapped some evil shit they've done in the past. And then I'm going to get to their juicy stuff, or what I think they're going to be doing in the future. So you're just in time. You haven't missed much. All right. So here's David Weiss talking about me recently. While hawking his app, of course, right? So he was on this interview with somebody named Bruce McGuire, who I don't know, never heard of, but I caught wind that that Dave did an interview about me, and I started looking into it, and well, he didn't do it about me, but I heard that my name got brought up at one point, so I looked into it, and he said something that I really didn't like. So here we go.
Jeran and Austin were like, you know what? Like, we'll go. I don't care if this guy's a bad guy or anything. We're going to go. We're going to report what we see. Right? Yeah. Now, was he in on it already? Was he, something happened? I couldn't tell you. I don't know. Doesn't make me a bad guy. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know if anybody's asked you about this guy, but one of the sharpest guys out there was Flat Earth Jake. And for some reason, he has it out for just about everybody, I think.
Oh, everybody.
Did you guys hear that? That's how they introduced me. What's my name? Flat Earth Jake? No, my name is not Flat Earth Jake, and it was never Flat Earth Jake. My name was Flat Earth Asshole, and then it became Jake the Asshole. Why didn't either of you mention the word asshole? Huh? Flat Earth Jake? Yeah, you won't find me if you try and look up Flat Earth Jake. You'll find someone else, I'm sure. Not me. One more time. So they show my picture so that if you know who I am, you know who they're talking about. But by name, remember there was a sharp guy named Flat Earth Jake?
Early on, one of the sharpest guys out there was Flat Earth Jake. And for some reason, he has it out for just about everybody, I think.
Oh, everybody, yeah. Because
for some reason, he has it out for just about everybody. Okay. Everybody, like in the whole world? Or do I go after specific fucking scumbags? I think I go after specific scumbags. I don't go after everybody. I go after specific fucking liar scamming shills who have been proven to be such. I don't have it out for everybody. for some odd unknown reason. No, I specifically don't like lying, scamming, fucking shills, especially when they lie about me. Fucking idiot Bruce, dipshit interviewer. I'm gonna have it out for you now. You're gonna be included in everybody for some reason, Bruce.
He got psyoped by a guy called Cool Hard Logic.
He got psyoped by a guy called Cool Hard Logic. So according to Dave, who's like the most popular guy in all of Flat Earth land, right? I got psyoped by a Globe Earth channel called Cool Hard Logic. I got psyoped. How did that happen? Explain how I got psyoped, motherfucker, because I'm going to explain that that's a lie in a minute.
Said that the circling map doesn't work, and there was a really stupid argument. And
no, the circle sun on your map doesn't work and has been proven that it doesn't work over and over again. And the argument was the equinox. You fucking lying, scamming bitch. An equinox where everyone sees the sunrise from 90 degrees east, basically, and set 270 west, basically, which is basically impossible with your one sun on the equator on your fucking app, dipshit, which I have pointed out and proven many times, and I will do it again in this stream. Liar, cocksucker, motherfucker.
He's a horrible dude, and he calls himself a different name now.
Yeah.
I'm a horrible dude, and I call myself a different name now. And he's too much of a cocksucking coward to say my name. Explain why I'm a horrible dude. Because I got psyoped by Cool Hard Logic because of a dumb argument which you won't talk about or explain. I'll explain it. And I didn't get psyoped. I looked into where the sun rises and sets around the world, mainly south of the Tropic of Capricorn, because that's where your map has problems as far as the sun going in a circle on your app, the map on your app, sir. So when I looked into it, and I actually had people with their physical compass in their physical hand point the compass at the actual physical sun, well, I found out it rises from the southeast and sets to the southwest for several months out of the year. Most significantly in December. That's when it rises the most southerly and sets the most southerly and debunks you the most is in December. So Dave, I did observations through the use of my subscribers in other countries who absolutely beyond a shadow of a doubt proved that you're wrong, your map's wrong, your app's wrong, and that SunCalc is basically right. Furthermore, Q&Fee has also debunked you many, many times. Q&Fee debunked you 6 ways from Sunday, but a lot of people just didn't see it. So you just prey on the fact that most people haven't seen my content or Q&Fee's content. And then you fucking lie about it. Well, guess what? I caught you lying. So guess what? Now you get spanked, Dave. Now you get spanked.
And so I don't pay any attention to him.
Because I think he was, I believe, unless I'm mixing up people, because he early on, he was doing his own, observations and tests, and they were pretty good.
And I still am my own man doing my own thing. Looking at the world from my own perspective. Still here, still standing, still the sharpest guy in this fucking YouTube shit, along with my buddy Q&Fee. He's equally sharp in other ways. So, yeah, I'm still here kicking ass, still sharp, still busting balls and telling the truth. Bruce, nothing changed.
He thinks that the AE map is debunked. Just today, the day we're recording this, what day is it? Sunday. I just released Space Busters gave me wanted me to upload their new Antarctica video that was it's showing about all what is it called?
Stuttering much, you stuttering bitch. Keep stuttering, you little bitch. How do my balls taste, you stuttering bitch? I'm going to change the subject to someone else. Yeah, notice how he quickly just changed the subject and then started stuttering like a little bitch? I did. Stutter again for me and change the subject, you little bitch.
AE map is debunked. Just today, the day we're recording this, what day is it? Sunday. I just released Space Busters gave me wanted me to upload their new Antarctica video that was it's showing about all what is it called? Now I'm trying to remember the name of it. Showing all the videos that all of the bases. Oops. All of the bases that were
yeah, after I got brought up, you just turned into a bumbling tard muffin, didn't you, Dave? Looking a little disorganized after you just lied about me, cocksucker. How about that? Fucking stupid Dave. See, so that was it. They basically brought me up real quick and then discarded me without ever actually mentioning my name or my arguments or anything I ever said or how I'm wrong or any of that. Didn't go over any of it, but that was how I got mentioned. Okay. Okay. So guess what, guys? There's a guy who's in the club who knows who I am, and he doesn't like me. And when I say he's on the club, he sat next to the real OG Alex Jones, right? That Bill Hicks one, more than once. And got to hawk his app on Alex Jones' show, and was on Roseanne and Jim Breuer. I don't think that's the last time he's going to show his face. And he was part of all the conferences. He knows who I am, y'all. He knows that I know who he is and what he's all about. He don't like me. So that means there's somebody in the big club who knows all about me, who don't like me, and knows I'm talking shit. So he could pass that information on to other club members. See what I'm saying? So I'm guessing there's other dirtbag club members, maybe even ones I don't even know who know me because of Dave, who knows me. And it's been proven in that clip. He knows who the fuck I am, and he lies about me to protect his ass and his dumb shit followers who think it's okay to hang out with Roseanne and Alex Jones. Yeah, they might believe some of his lies. But if anyone stumbles upon this, well, they're going to find out what Dave's really all about. Well, somebody just said something retarded. Somebody's about to get lit up. Oh my God. Everyone is scared of Powerland. Have you seen his recent material? Because I have. I keep tabs on Matt. I keep tabs on all these shills. That's why I'm so good at what I do. I check up on them every few months. I'm like, I wonder what Matt's been up to. And I look and I see Matt dresses up in a tuxedo and plays the worst guitar. He's had a guitar now for like 7-8 years, and he still can't fucking play it. He can't even get it in tune. He's so terrible. I don't understand how you can own a guitar, play it all the time, and still suck balls and not even play one good thing. So Matt will go live and play guitar for 45 minutes, an hour, and just suck. And not even talk sometimes. Sometimes he'll just play guitar and then shut the stream off. He did 5 or 6 streams where he cried and said he needs 20 grand and that he's stuck in Mexico. And he begged for money. He begged for money and forced himself to cry on camera. Then he took down those streams, and then he was in a tuxedo hanging out with his son in another stream after he said that he couldn't see his son. He was in a stream with his son in his arms, hanging out, laughing. So he streams for like 3 to 5 people live. His videos get about 100 views. He plays terrible guitar. He doesn't say anything noteworthy at all. He won't talk about how he ended up there stuck in Mexico. He won't talk about Katie. He won't talk about why he needed 20 grand. Go look at what he's doing. I have. I could bring it up and show you, but what I just described is what Matt is doing. Go look up Matt Powerland right now. Matt Powerland. Go look him up. You'll find exactly what I described. An irrelevant nobody who's doing nothing. He couldn't tie the Legends boots. Simone Bettina says, I hate to do it because I know you're in your element, but when you feel like it, YMCA Donald Trump song and dancer. You know what? To break up the seriousness, because I find myself getting agitated and pissed off. Thank you, Simone. We're going to do a little bit of a palate cleanser in the form of comedy. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. My favorite song is freaking YMCA. They've got young men there, and you know I love young men. I like to hang out with all the boys. You know, young men. There is lots of young men, and so I go there to the YMCA because of young men, because of lots of young men. You know that young men make me happy. Everybody now, do. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. I do my favorite dance and sing this song at freaking YMCA. You've got lots of young men. You can have a good meal. Quite frankly, I like how I feel. Now David Weiss is going to try and cut that up and be like,
look at him, he's crazy. He talks about wanting to hang out with the young men. Don't listen to Jake. He likes to talk about hanging out with young men at the YMCA. I don't know what happened to Jake. He started hanging out with young men at the YMCA. Buy my app. Get my app so I can track you. I promise I won't look at you while you're taking a poo-poo. Or maybe I will.
That's my Dave Weiss impression. It's pretty accurate, right? Anyone who really knows Dave Weiss, that's how he is.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to talk about flat earth on the Joe Rogan yet. Because I want you to buy my app.
That's who he is. That's Dave Weiss in a nutshell.
Buy my app.
That's an evil motherfucker.
I know. I have a boat and I live in a mansion.
That's what he does. A fucking evil piece of shit, that guy. And recently, when I went over to that podcast that I was just showing you, check this out, you guys. Check this out. Just to show you, he's a real piece of shit. That podcast that I saw, I decided to leave a comment because everyone in the comment is like, Dave is awesome. This is the best interview I've ever seen. Oh, watch, I'll show you. This is so fucking stupid when I looked in the comments. So I decided to leave a comment of my own, of course. So watch this. I'll go past my comment. Check this out. Yo, Dave, you're a beast. I've been addicted to your interviews. Epic interview. 30 minutes in, and this is the best interview ever. You guys, every single comment is licking Dave's testicles, talking about how Dave is a beast and Dave's a legend, and his testicles taste so yummy. Every fucking comment, except mine. The one comment that didn't agree. You guys want to see what I had to say? Here's what I had to say. I said, I see my name was somewhat brought up during this stream. Here, let me blow it up. Whoop. This account I am commenting with is the original Flat Earth A-hole channel. What Dave said in this interview about me was a total lie. Dave said I was psyoped by Cool Hard Logic, which is provably wrong, of course. The truth is, Dave is a shill and an actor pretending to be a flat earther. Not only that, but Dave has been pushing a wrong and debunked version of flat earth for the last decade. If you want to hear the truth from me, you can interview me on your podcast. I am the real truther. Dave is nothing but a scumbag shill. And then Dave said, there is a height requirement with a minimum of 4 feet to be on Mindshock. So Dave hits me up with this insult. Dave replies to me that you have to be 4 feet to be interviewed by this guy, Bruce. And it looks like Bruce has since messaged me asking for my email. So maybe I'll get back to Bruce and give him my email, and maybe me and Bruce will have a chit-chat. Because maybe I have a few things to fucking say about Bruce for not doing his proper research about me, or about the sun and where it rises, or Dave's app, or Dave. So yeah, maybe I'll have a few things to say to Bruce himself. And if you are watching this, Bruce, maybe you should look into some of this shit. Unless you're a fucking shill like Dave, of course. Then, of course, you already know. You know, when I get dissed by a guy who I think is shorter than me,
There's a height requirement, a minimum of 4 feet to be on Mindshock.
oh yeah? Dave, you don't look like you're that tall, Dave. Dave, I'm 5'7". I'm the exact same size as Floyd Mayweather. I'm not a midget. I've knocked a dude out and put him in the hospital with one punch who was 6 foot, 200 pounds. I busted a dude's orbital socket with one punch who was much bigger than me. Yes, and I had him arrested afterwards and got away with it, and I can brag about it because he damaged my car and he came at me. So I know what it's like to knock somebody fucking unconscious who's a lot bigger than me, Dave. So Dave, if you're going to talk about me being 4 foot tall, how tall are you, Dave? I bet you're not that tall. I'll bet you're not over 6 feet tall, Dave. In fact, when I look at videos of you, Dave, you look like you might be smaller than me. Dave, if you are shorter than me, if you are shorter than 5'7", I promise you I would destroy your old, ugly scumbag face with one punch. And then you could tell all of your loser shill buddies you got your fucking ass kicked by a guy who was 4 feet tall. How would that be, Dave? Would that make you look slick and cool at the country club if you got your fucking ass kicked by someone who's 4 feet tall? Yeah, I bet I wouldn't be 4 feet tall if you bumped into me, motherfucker. Bump into me in person without any help, without any backup. Just me and just you. And we'll see how tall you are, Dave. Want to come at me fucking sideways and call me 4 foot tall, right? Like you don't care what I have to say, Dave? Okay, Dave. You want to fight, Dave? How about we box for charity, Dave? How about we fight MMA for charity, Dave? You know, for charity. Not a threat, Dave. I'm totally not threatening Dave. What I am saying is if we were to set up a fight in any art of fighting you wish, be it boxing, be it be it MMA or be it bare knuckle boxing. I would prefer bare knuckle boxing personally because I have really bony knuckles that do a ton of damage. So Dave, if you ever want to fight me in any capacity, in any circumstance, I guarantee I would destroy you in like 1 minute or less. 1 minute or less, you would be an unconscious man. We could put money on the line, Dave. How about we put one of Jeran's stipulations? A loser leaves YouTube, $10,000. I'll beat your ass in a fight, Dave. Will you do it? Yeah, I bet Dave won't. And like I said, not a threat. Just saying, if we were to set up a celebrity YouTube boxing match or whatever, I would fucking beat your ass, Dave. You would catch the fury of all the lies and slander you've done my direction and your business associates have done. I would give you Jeran's beating as well. I would give you all the fucking people who've ever wronged me in the flat earth cult community, all you evil shills. I would give you all a collective beating through Dave's face. But we all know Dave would never accept such an offer. Not a threat. Not threatening Dave at all. Just saying, if we were to ever set up a fight, I would beat his fucking ass. Easily. Yeah. You want to call me 4 feet tall, Dave? I wouldn't be 4 feet tall if you bumped into me and I found out that you were 5'5". Then I wouldn't be 4 foot tall anymore, would I, bitch? And I'm not even kidding. The last guy who tanked with me was a friend of mine, and he keyed my car and came at me. A friend of mine who was bigger than me, over 6 foot. He got me good and angry enough that I had to tell him, dude, I don't want to hurt you, but I'm fixing to hurt you if you don't stop. And he wouldn't. So I had to, with one punch, destroy my former friend's orbital socket. One punch. We ain't friends no more. And I told the cops, yeah, I just knocked this dude out who keyed my car and came at me in a drunken rage. And I showed him the video. And then the cops arrested his fucking ass. So I got away with beating the dude's fucking ass and putting him in the hospital. Dave! So I know what I'm capable of. Dave! And this is just a comedy show. I'm not threatening Dave. I'm just telling him that if we ever set up a fight, he'd find out real fast what a 4 foot tall guy could do. Yeah, Dave. I'll bet you Dave's too pussy to accept that. And I wanted to really rub it in. So if anyone asks him about the time that Jake challenged him to a fight, he's got to be like,
he's crazy. And he got shy at. I'm a big pussy. Buy my app.
all right. Now let's get to the part where Dave and Jeran were friends, talking about how Jeran was going to flip on the Flat Earth cult community before it happened. Oh, wait, but first I got to quickly debunk Dave. I almost forgot. I got to debunk Dave's stupid ass. 1 second. Dave and his app. Since I told you guys his app is wrong, I got to prove it. I can't just say it. Got to prove it. All right. Two birds, one stone. I'm going to show Jeran and Dave talking about how Jeran's going to flip on the Flat Earth cult before it happens. And I'm going to debunk Dave all in the same shot. Bada bang, bada boom.
Freaking out because I think it's people are freaking out because I think it's the way you said something and that I don't agree with, and which is if you see a clear sun, you know, circling around, and we know, and it wasn't fake, you made it sound like you're going to say the Earth is a globe.
I'm going to say that the Earth cannot be flat.
And that brings us back to these two scumbags, Jeranism and David Weiss. So in this clip, Dave Weiss is calling into Jeranism's show, and they're both pretending to have a bit of an argument over whether or not the final experiment will falsify the flat Earth model if they see a 24-hour sun in Antarctica. And so Jeran is supposed to go to Antarctica for Will Duffy's final experiment. And if he sees a 24-hour circling sun in Antarctica, he's going to come back and say that the Earth cannot be flat.
And of course, he did exactly that, as we all know. So I pointed it out many months in advance that he was going to flip-flop. He made it obvious. So this man right here was used to throw the flat Earth topic under the bus. And now he is basically like a professional globe cuck. He's going to be used again in the future for another psychological operation to throw another subject under the bus. And I'm going to get to that later.
His words. Now, Dave Weiss is going to say that that wouldn't falsify the flat Earth model, but it would falsify their sky model. Now, I want to point out that Jeran and Dave Weiss have been pushing an incorrect, debunked, falsified sky model for like a decade, basically. And the circling sun was debunked by me back in 2017, and Q and Fee even before that, I think back in 2016. And so not only have flat earthers debunked this one circling sun nonsense, but a bunch of globe earthers have too. So the fact that Jeran and Dave Weiss and Eric Dubé and plenty of other fake flat earthers have made excuses for nearly a decade every time the circling sun got debunked. But now they're going to pretend like if Will Duffy has this experiment where they see a 24-hour sun in Antarctica, well, then that falsifies the whole flat Earth model.
All right, so here's the equinox argument. Each observer on the flat Earth is going to see a 90-degree east sunrise on the equinox, basically, and set 270 west, basically. And so, for each observer to see the sunrise from 90 degrees east and set 270 west, you'd basically have to have a sun for each observer. Each observer would have to see their own sun. It cannot be done with only one sun going around on the equator. And this is proof right here, modeled up by Q and Fee.
And guess what? Here is the sun setting. And on this side, the sun is rising. 90 degrees east. And set 270 degrees west.
So this is the argument that not only were Globe Earth channels bringing up, but there were flat earthers bringing this up, such as myself, Q and Fee. And so Dave was too chicken shit to say what the argument was that he claimed I was psyoped by. You guys, this argument does defeat his app. It proves his app wrong. On the equinox, you get 12 hours of daylight, 12 hours of night for basically everywhere on Earth. And everyone basically sees the sunrise from about 90 degrees east and set 270 west. So what you have here are three observers on one side of the Earth seeing the sun rise. And then on the other side of the Earth, you got three observers seeing the sun set. Meanwhile, you got a guy over here looking straight up at noon, seeing the sun over his head, all at the exact same moment. So this is the same moment, same longitude. You got people seeing the sun rise, and on the other side seeing the sun set, and then looking straight up right here, someone at noon is seeing the sun right above their head. The sun can't be in all those places. And the more observers you add, the more suns you need. Which is why guys like myself and Q and Fee say that everyone sees their own sun. And guess who started saying that recently? Dave fucking Weiss started saying everyone sees their own sun. But he won't update his app. He won't say he was wrong. He keeps selling the same debunked app with the one sun going in a circle. But now Dave Weiss is telling people we all see our own sun, while also saying I got psyoped by a bad argument that he won't talk about. It's this. So anyone on the equinox can point a compass at the sun and see that it rises from 90 degrees east. That's proven. That's a fact. And then sets about 270 west. That's why they call it an equinox. Equal day, equal night. So if the one sun is on the equator going in a circle, then obviously it's not going to rise from 90 degrees east for everyone. There's going to be people north of the equator and south of the equator who'd either have to be looking north at it or looking south at the sun. But that's not what happens. On the equinox, everyone sees the sun rise from 90 degrees east. That's a debunk of the single circling sun, a proof that we all see our own sun, and that this place ain't what they told you, and that the sun rises and sets for you locally. But Dave was pushing the wrong thing purposely for a decade. And he lies about it still. And this is exactly what SunCalc shows. So if you go to SunCalc, it'll show you that the sun's going to rise from 90 degrees east and set 270 west on the equinoxes. So observations match up with the SunCalc data. So Earth is flat, but the sun does rise and it does set. And we all see our own independent angles to the sun. So now that that information has been proven beyond a shadow of a doubt, and it's starting to make its way around the flat earth cult community, they can't lie about it that much anymore. So now they're starting to fucking say it and include it into their own shit, but without giving me or Q and Fee any credit for it. They're assimilating this work without ever admitting they were lying the whole time to begin with. So this is the argument that Dave didn't want to show. He was too chicken shit. You got the sun rising due west. Excuse me. Rises due east, sets due west. And at the same moment, you have someone seeing the sun at noon. Now, this is proven. It debunks the shit out of one sun going in a circle. But Dave continues with his app. All right. Let me show one more debunk of Dave's app, because I actually bring up his app and show it to where it's very easy to understand. So hopefully nobody gets confused, because sometimes this subject can be a bit confusing. And if any claims that I say you aren't sure about, I've made videos about all these things that I claim, and you can go back and look for yourself. All right. All right, check it out. Here we go.
One of the main reasons why the original flat Earth model, with its one singular circling sun, fails so miserably and is proven wrong so easily is because it uses a mean sun and or virtual sun, as in a not real sun. So the fact that it uses a virtual sun, it's not going to get the correct sunrise angles or sunset angles.
The apparent motion of the sun is not uniform. For this reason, it would be difficult to construct a clock capable of keeping this irregular time. Therefore, a mean or imaginary sun is used. This mean sun is assumed to have a uniform rate of motion with respect to the Earth. The time measured by the mean or imaginary sun is called mean or civil time, and uses a mean or imaginary sun.
So that's the one that goes around in 24 hours inside that celestial sphere is the imaginary sun. So the one that goes in a circle over the AE map is also the imaginary sun. Get it? Uses a mean sun, one that goes around in 24 hours. Or imaginary. Jake, why would they use an imaginary sun? Let's go back and listen again. What does this say? United States Navy. Training film.
The apparent motion of the sun is not uniform.
The apparent motion of the sun is not uniform. That's what I've been telling you guys.
For this reason, it would be difficult to construct a clock capable of keeping this irregular time.
It would be difficult to construct a clock capable of keeping this irregular time because we all see the sun at our own independent angles that don't triangulate back to the same freaking sun. That's why it's so hard to do that. We all see our own sun is the reason.
Therefore, a mean or imaginary sun is used.
So they had to create a mean or imaginary sun, a virtual sun, one that goes around in 24 hours inside this celestial sphere in order to construct this clock.
This mean sun is assumed to have a uniform rate of motion with respect to the Earth.
It's assumed to have a uniform rate of motion. This imaginary sun.
The time measured by the mean or imaginary sun is called mean or civil time.
In the meantime, have you ever heard that? In the meantime, well, here you go. In the meantime, the imaginary sun time.
And uses a mean or imaginary sun as its reference point.
So that is why this circling sun over an AE map is proven wrong, is because it doesn't get the proper sunrise and sunset angles correct.
So if you use a mean sun, one that goes around in a circle in 24 hours, you're not going to get the sunrise angles and sunset angles correct. Because, for instance, everyone sees the sunrise from 90 degrees east on the equinox. You can't do that with just one sun going in the circle. Obviously, someone south of the equator is going to see a 90-degree east sunrise. Down here, for instance, someone on the equator sees the 90-degree east sunrise, and then someone north of the equator. While on the other side of the earth, they're seeing the sun set. Can't be done with one single circling sun. So, Dave, this argument has been proven beyond a shadow of a doubt. Furthermore, I even had observers with compasses in Australia and Tasmania point the compass at the sun. So Dave's basically a liar. I might even have it in this video. Shit, I might even have it in the video. One sec. In fact, let me play more of this.
If you want to get the proper sunrise and sunset angles correct, you have to use a website like SunCalc, which will show you exactly where the sun is going to rise and where it's going to set. It uses official observable data. If you use official observable data and then you transfer it to an AE map, you end up with a much more correct version of the flat Earth map. Now here's the trippy part. When you model up several different observers over the flat Earth using official observed data, then it's as if each observer sees their own sun. That's how I came to the conclusion that each observer sees their own sun. So in this flat Earth model, we reject a singular circling sun because that represents a mean sun, a virtual sun, a not real sun. Instead, we use the official observable data, the official sunrise and sunset angles to the sun provided to us by SunCalc, and we drag the cursor locally to whatever position we want to check where the sun is going to rise and set. You then convert that data over to the azimuthal equidistant flat Earth map, and now you have locally the correct sunrise and sunset angles. You have proper working sun mechanics that you can verify with your own observations. Now, the same cannot be said for the debunked PSYOP version of the flat Earth, such as David Weiss's.
All right, looks like I missed. Now I'm going to get into debunking David Weiss's app, and I'll make it really easy to understand. But look, I missed some super chats. Scott loves Sherry with a super sticker. Trout fishing at Hood Park with a super sticker. Sorry for missing these. I was ranting earlier and totally got caught up ranting and missed some of these super chats. My bad, y'all. Elliot said, where does Russia... Oh, I did read that one. All right. So here... Oh, God damn it. So here's where I want to debunk Dave Weiss's app, and I want to make it easy to understand. Dave Weiss has the one sun going around in a circle. Each person sees their own independent angle to the sun. So somebody down at the tippity tip of South America down here, right? This little place called Ushuaia, way down here, they're going to see their own independent sunrise and sunset angles. And there's people who live down there. So this information is verified where they see the sunrise and set. So Dave has the sun going in a circle, but these people down here in Ushuaia would always have to be looking up north to see Dave's sun going in a circle. But they see the sunrise during certain times of the year from the south and set to the south, which is the opposite direction. So here it is. Everyone pay attention.
Tracking app, which features one singular circling sun, the mean sun, the virtual sun, the not real sun. Yeah, his app is instantly debunked by the observable data. Dave has the sun doing circles in the month of December, and he has the sun positioned on the Tropic of Capricorn. Meanwhile, someone south of the Tropic of Capricorn, such as at the tip of South America, Ushuaia, for instance, they're going to be seeing the sunrise from the southeast and set to the southwest during that time of year, which is in the opposite direction shown on Dave's app. If this model was correct, then someone in Ushuaia, Argentina would never ever see the sunrise from the southeast and set to the southwest, but that is precisely what is observed in that location every single year in December. But according to Dave's incorrect debunked app, people in Ushuaia, Argentina would only be able to see a northeast sunrise and a northwest sunset.
You guys see it now? Somebody right here at the tip of South America, they provably, without a doubt, see the sunrise from the southeast in this direction and then set to the southwest in this direction during December. But Dave Weiss's app, which is set on December, has the sun going around in a circle on the Tropic of Capricorn. So somebody down here would have to be looking at the sun to the north from sunrise till sunset. They would never see it to the south. But that's not what happens. So I want everyone to get this. Someone right here sees the sun rise from the direction of Antarctica, basically, and set to the direction of Antarctica. Meanwhile, Dave's app has the sun going by in a fucking circle in the opposite direction. Yeah, that's wrong. It doesn't do that. And I've had people south of that Tropic of Capricorn point their compass at the sun and prove it. Dave knows this. Dave has seen it. Dave is well aware his app is wrong. I just want everyone to understand why it's wrong. One sun going in a circle won't rise and set correctly for everyone. No matter what RV tells you, no matter what any of these fucking liar clowns tell you, they're wrong, provably wrong. A compass proves them wrong. SunCalc proves them wrong. You can prove them wrong. I already have proven them wrong. I'm in the process right now of showing you how to prove them fucking wrong. But yet, so many people will say Jake's just jealous and Jake's wrong. RV just literally says that. Jake's just a fake flat earther and he's lying. So yeah, somebody right here in Ushuaia, they're not going to look at the sun rise from the north and set to the north in December. They're going to see it from the south, come up, go over their head, and set back to the south.
This has been brought to David Weiss's attention. Dave knows his app is wrong. He doesn't care. He's making a ton of money selling that app, and he has no problem selling disinformation and profiting on it. In fact, that's his job.
Yeah, Dave, why didn't you fucking show that argument? Yeah, show this next time my name gets brought up, Dave. I bet you won't. Bet you won't show this part, Dave. Keep telling people I got psyoped by a Globe Cuck channel, Dave. Keep telling people that. And I'll keep doing streams like this, setting everyone straight. I don't care if people like it or not. Dave's connected back to shitbags like Alex Jones, who are connected to Rogan, who are connected to fucking Elon and Trump. 6 degrees of separation. These dudes connect back to Trump, basically. So when I talk about them, I ain't just having beef with random YouTubers. These are fucking government agents who are participating in psychological operations in which they discredit entire sectors of the truth community. There ain't even really a community. They basically just take a shit on the truth is what they do. They divert people away from the truth. They corral people from the truth and send you down fucking rabbit holes and have you spending your money on shill conferences, supporting people like Jeran and failed laser experiments and shit.
His job is to lead people down the wrong rabbit hole. Hence his name, Deep Inside the Rabbit Hole. Oh, and let's not forget, he has recently done appearances on Roseanne Barr's podcast.
How many people you know get to go on Roseanne Barr? Roseanne Barr is admittedly part of the small hat tribe. Admits it. She pretends like she cares about the truth now. But there is no sellout movie star TV show celebrity that becomes a real truther. There ain't no fucking such thing. So any of these wannabe truthers, it's because they flopped out of Hollywood. Roseanne, yeah, she doesn't have anything better to do, so now she pretends to be a truther. And she gives people like Dave Weiss a platform to hawk his fucking tracking app. So don't anyone stick up for these wannabe fucking truthers who are celebrities. Oh, Roseanne's cool, Jake. Jim Breuer's okay, bro. No, they're not. This proves he's a fucking shill. This one thing is enough to discredit him in my book. And I've got way more than this one thing.
And InfoWars with Alex Jones. And every time he does one of these interviews or appearances.
Look at this. Eddie Bravo, OG flat fucking or fat Alex Jones, the Bill Hicks version, who's been replaced. I wonder if Dave knows anything about that. Dave has been on InfoWars twice. Both times he had to have Eddie Bravo with him. Both times. Alex Jones has been on Joe Rogan's show. Joe Rogan has had Donald Trump and Elon Musk on his show. Joe Rogan promotes Donald Trump and Elon Musk. Alex Jones promotes Donald Trump and Elon Musk. There's Dave on Alex Jones' show. Not too far of a shill separation from the fucking president. Jake, why are you talking about these random guys? Because they're fucking connected back to the president within like a few degrees, basically. And they know me. Yeah, Eddie Bravo subscribed to my channel within the last year. They know who I am. Jake, why are you talking about the... Because they actively perform psychological operations and they lie about me even. So some of you football fucks who tell me, I don't know who these people are. I just don't care. They're used to discredit the truth. So you should care. So when I point out these guys and then they get used after I already pointed them out, when they get used in a huge operation, such as throwing the flat earth topic under the bus, and then I'm like, see? Now you know why I talked about these guys. They weren't just random guys who I had a feud with for clicks and views. No, they're fucking evil shitbags who need to be called out. Because no one else is really doing it. No, he's not, dude. Eddie Bravo sucks. Joe, man, it's the Illuminati. Bro, it's flat, man. Let me tell you all about how it's flat, Joe. Bro, it's like the Illuminati. They're trying to cover up Eric Dubé. You know what the first thing Eddie Bravo does when he goes on Alex Jones' show to talk about flat earth? Name drops Eric Dubé. The guy who pushes the fucking one sun and one moon in a circle shit that's been debunked. The CIA asset who reads a fucking script and won't go live. Won't do this. Only reads scripts. Yeah, that's the guy. So Eddie Bravo brings up Eric Dubé every fucking chance he gets. Bro, man, they're trying to censor Eric Dubé. That's why I have to say his name on Alex Jones' show, man. They're trying to censor the flat earth and the Illuminati stuff, man. Don't you know? Yeah, fuck Eddie Bravo and his shill ass. And since he's subscribed to my channel, maybe he'll see this. Fuck you, Eddie Bravo, you shill bitch. And fuck anyone who likes him. Any one of you who sticks up for any of these guys. Fuck you. They're evil. You should be 100% in my corner. 100% against them. Oh, it's okay to hang out with Jim Breuer and Alex Jones and lick their balls. Is it? Then get the fuck out of my channel's chat if you think these dudes are cool or funny. That's their job, is to corral you. Oh, Jake, I take the good and then I leave the bad. So I listen to you and I listen to RV and I listen to Eddie Bravo and I listen to Eric Dubé and I just take the good and leave the... Fuck you. Then you're following shill. Stay the fuck away from me. That's what I say. Yeah, I draw a line in the sand. If you want to watch me and hang with me, I better not catch you hanging out with shills or supporting shills or I'll boot you the fuck out. I don't want no part of these motherfuckers or anyone who does want a part of them. Straight up, don't care if I lose you as a sub. Any of you who support any of these three shitbags on screen, fuck off. You should be in my corner completely. The real truther, telling the real truth.
He is always showing off his app. He is always promoting his app. And it's a tracking app capable of data mining its users I would recommend you do not download that app. I would recommend you delete that app if you have downloaded it, and you might even consider getting rid of your phone. So let's review what we have learned so far. If you use suncalc.org.
All right, that's all I got for that one. All right, move on from that. Oh yeah, so let me keep tying these shitbags together. So recently, Joe Rogan's guest, forget who it is off the top of my head, brought up Jeran by name, and then Jeran showed it on video, like he was really proud of him being brought up on the Joe Rogan show. So guys, does Joe Rogan bring up you or anyone that you know? Does Joe Rogan bring up anyone you know personally, right? Does Joe Rogan just bring up regular dudes? Does Joe Rogan's guests bring up just anyone? Yeah, see, there's a specific name that was used on Joe Rogan's show, which makes me think maybe in the future Jeran might show up on Joe Rogan's show. But for now, it's just his name being said. So we'll just go with that. All right. Here we go.
My name was said on Joe Rogan. How about that? Is that worth anything? Rumor has it that my phone number has been given to Joe Rogan, so I don't know where that will go, but we will see. And also, Joe Rogan likes to strike channels for using his material. So, Joe, this is for everybody. Go sub to Joe and be Joe's friend.
Go sub to Joe and be Joe's friend. Yeah, he says it in a sarcastic manner, but that's what he actually wants you to do. And so here's Jeran pretending like he doesn't care that his name's being said, while he totally cares. He's so proud of himself. And then he mentions that that Joe has his number. So I think we might see Jeran on the Joe show in the future. Can't say for sure, but it wouldn't shock me. So guys, if Joe is about to have a guest bring up Jeran by name, that means he's not just a regular random YouTuber. That means he's somebody who's being talked about on like the most popular podcast in the world, after he just went to Antarctica and was in every publication all over the world by name for throwing the flat earth topic under the bus, right? Here we go.
And we'll just try and talk over it a lot and keep it quickly moving along, because something else cool happened here at the beginning. Let's go back a little bit. Okay, now what do you think's in this bag? Could Joe Rogan be about to touch something that is mine?
Yeah, what is this? I have a little open of that. So you'll remember that I sent you a photo on iMessage a couple of months ago.
What has he got there?
A friend of mine who was in Antarctica.
Yeah.
And he flew a comedy mothership lighter out to Antarctica. I've been reliably told that lighter was used to smoke weed.
Who would have smoked weed in Antarctica? How dare them? You can't do that over there. Can't do that in that. Somebody asked me to. Oh, it was Edward Hendry. Whoa, geez, get into that guy.
Nobody cares about you allegedly smoking weed in Antarctica, or that Joe has your pipe, you loser. Look at Jeran, he's gushing. Oh, Joe has my pipe. Oh, Joe has the pipe that I use to smoke weed in Antarctica. Oh my God.
Like, what a joke. Anyway, he was saying something about how illegal it was what I did and all this stuff. And why didn't I have to go through customs? And I mean, just a bunch of nonsense. And of course, it's because Antarctica isn't a country. Hello. It's a continent.
It was dropped a number of times, so it's touched ancient permafrost.
Fuck yeah.
So he now owns the lighter that I used to light my joint in Antarctica. How about that? Small world, huh?
What kind of laws do they have in Antarctica?
No laws. They have none laws.
Don't know. Apparently very liberal.
Laws?
Fuck no.
Who's going to come get me? The police?
I don't know. I don't know.
Nobody there. Have they established laws?
They were.
There's no laws.
400 miles in.
Whoa.
So this was part of the final experiment, which was this attempt to try and disprove flat Earth.
All right, before we get into the goods here, because now they're about to talk about the final experiment, and now Jeran's name's about to be brought up to Joe. And then you get to see Joe's reaction to hearing about Jeran flip-flopping on the flat Earth. So I'm Rigged says, you and Mag should join forces. That would be epic, bro. I know you don't like him anymore, but he's the closest to a real truther there is. Of course, we all agree here that you're the real deal. Yeah, but Mag's a shill, bro. So again, you're like enjoying guys who fucking push a bunch of bullshit. So when he talks about the flat earth, he mixes in a bunch of retarded shit like extra lands. He says people come from these extra lands and there's no earthquake, and the Garden of Eden is in these extra lands, and that's where people originally come from. He said Vern Troyer is an animatronic robot. Let me tell you something, people. You need to wake your ass up right now. Vern Troyer is not a real man. You think the Minim is a real man? No man is that smart, people. You need to wake your ass up right now. Vern Troyer was an animatronic robot, people. And right after I tell you that he's an animatronic robot, that's when he died, people. You need to wake your ass up right now. There's nobody who is that small, people. You think they're just going to make this tiny man into the movie star? No, that's some dumb shit to fool the masses. It was an animatronic robot. He literally told his audience that Vern Troyer was a fucking robot. Dude, if I tell you guys that I think a celebrity's been replaced, I know that's crazy and out there, but I truly think Dave Chappelle's been replaced. I truly think Eminem's been replaced. I truly think that Joe Biden's been replaced. I'm telling you my real feelings on shit, right? Whereas like saying Vern Troyer's a robot, like, whoa, I'm not going to say something like that. I would need some extraordinary proof or evidence to show you, right? So I'm all about, the truth is crazier than fiction and telling people the truth, even if it sounds crazy, and trying not to make it sound too crazy because it is the truth. Mag will say some retarded shit like, let me tell you something. Man does not come from this place. Man comes from the land beyond the ice wall, people. Man comes from the place beyond the ice wall. There is no volcano. There is no earthquake in the land beyond the ice wall, people. So he makes retarded claims without any evidence. I don't do that. I like to keep my claims evidence-backed. And then if I don't have evidence, I'll even tell you, I don't have evidence. This is just like a theory. So I even qualify my claims and tell you when I don't have evidence versus when I do. I'm in a different league. Mag is a fucking shill. I'm the real guy. So if you like him for entertainment reasons, I get it. But for truth, I wouldn't go in that direction, bro. All right. Oh yeah, let's get to the where Rogan's guest here brings up Jeran. So they bring up the final experiment, which of course was run by Will the Shill Duffy.
Oh.
Thanks, Joe.
He went as a part of that.
Did he
part of the final? Fuck no.
Who's going to come get me? The police?
I don't know. I don't know
nobody there. Have they established laws?
They were
There's no
400 miles in.
Whoa.
So this was part of the final experiment.
All right. Got another super chat. Ha ha ha. I wish I was some way you can get in touch with him and school him. Agents don't want to get in touch with real dudes and be told that they're agents. I've called out many an agent and they don't like it. I've learned that they don't like when I do this. Thanks, I'm rigged. All right, now let's listen to the name drop here. Here we go. Everyone pay attention.
Which was this attempt to try and disprove flat Earth.
Oh.
Thanks, Joe.
He went as a part.
It was an attempt to try and disprove flat Earth. Right, Joe?
Part of that.
Did he bring flat earthers? Is that the deal?
So
yeah.
So he's going through the story here.
Flat earthers, 4 globe.
Now, what you guys can do, if you want to see, want them to go see, that would be good. If we maybe one of us can get on, maybe both of us. Who knows? We'll see.
Oh yeah, I almost fast forward through this part, but Jeran asks people in his comment section to comment on Joe's channel to ask for Jeran to be on the show. So basically, Jeran is asking his audience to go over there and comment so that he can get on Joe Rogan's podcast. What a loser. You guys, will you go over there and ask Joe Rogan that I can be on his show? Will you ask him for me? Hey, you guys, if you like me, will you go over to Joe Rogan's podcast and leave him a comment saying that you really want Jeran Campenella to be his next guest? Please. What a loser. What a flamer. Wants to be on Joe Rogan so bad. He asks his loser newfound globe cuck audience to go over there and request that he be on Joe's show. He has your number. If you're scripted to be on there, no one needs to go over there and comment. They're trying to make it look organic. Like if you go over and comment, then maybe he'll get to be on the show. I think maybe he'll get to be on the show regardless.
Text us. They have our phone number. So maybe one of us can get on, maybe both of us. Who knows? We'll see. Maybe he doesn't want us on. Maybe he wants to just laugh at us. Who knows? But that would be good if we could get on there. I'd like to talk to him.
It would be good if he could get on there. He'd like to talk to him. So Jeran openly says he wants to go on Joe Rogan, and he wants his audience to go over there and ask for him to be on Joe Rogan. Jacques Tallard says, for Ralph, meat ? This show is kind of an antidote to the venomous shill snake, attractive but deadly. So yeah, I still got plenty of good stuff to get to, and I'm going to get out in front of what I think is their next evil plan, the next topic that they're going to throw under the bus in controlled, scripted fashion. I'm going to get to that in just a bit. But thank you, Jacques. And yeah, me and Ralph eat plenty of meat. You know what meat that I've been buying that is pretty good quality? I'll even show you guys real quick. Oops. I've been getting this ground lamb. This is only like $6 a pound, and it's grass fed, minimally processed, and like, you know, there's not nearly as many like lamb farms and stuff. You know what I mean? So it's like typically the quality of the meat of other animals, I noticed, outside of like chicken and beef and turkey and the typical stuff. Like if you look into like, you know, bison meat and stuff, or like any other type of meat, I've noticed that the quality tends to be like pretty damn good because it's not as mass farmed as beef and chicken, you know? So this right here is what I'll buy, like 3-4 of these. And then I make, you know, I mix it up with some like rice and potatoes and stuff. Just basic. But yeah, it's good stuff. So thank you. I appreciate that, Jacques, for the donation. All right.
These globe earthers get flown to Antarctica. It's $35,000 per person.
Oh my God.
This guy called Will Duffy.
Will Duffy just got name dropped on the Joe Rogan podcast, you guys. So all those times where I covered it, pointed out what they were going to do beforehand, and then pointed it out afterwards, gloated how I was right. Yeah, now here it is being talked about on the Joe Rogan podcast. And you guys know millions and millions of people watch Joe Rogan. So, of course, now they're being told that there's a guy who spent his own money who sent flat earthers to Antarctica. That's what they're being told.
This guy called Will Duffy?
This guy called Will Duffy.
Project together, flew everybody down there.
Did he pay for each person?
Yep.
Did he pay for everyone? They really want you to think that Will Duffy paid for it all. I don't believe Will Duffy paid for all of it. I think Will Duffy's a figurehead. I think Will Duffy is just a guy in front of the final experiment, and they don't want you to know that behind Will Duffy is the government, the CIA, whatever, right? So yeah, who paid for it? So Joe wants to know who paid for it. Will Duffy did. Oh, okay. See? So when I was covering Will and Jeran, it's a bigger deal than maybe you guys might have thought at the time. Because now they're talking about it on the biggest podcast in the world.
Yep.
Wow.
Well, kind of, sort of.
I think maybe a couple of people chose to go self-funded, but they were trying to get the open offer to all of the biggest flat Earth influencers, commentators.
What do you call it?
I don't know what to.
So they talk about Jeran and they call him the biggest flat earth influencer. Or they talk about the ones that Will Duffy took are the biggest flat earth influencers. Jeran and Whitsitt were not the biggest influencers. But that's what they're being painted out as. And then what is Joe's reaction? Laughter! Hilarious. That's what they want you to do. If you're a common listener to the Joe Rogan podcast, a common man who believes Earth is a globe, they want you to react that way whenever you hear the words flat followed by Earth. Oh, you mean like that flat Earth influencer who went to Antarctica and found out he was wrong? That's what they want you to do. See how it all works? That's how you throw a subject under the fucking bus to millions of people. You have someone like Joe Rogan laugh about it and ridicule it while they talk up the guy, Will Duffy, who sent the flat earthers to Antarctica.
Cool. How many went?
4 of each.
That's why black guys always get the best in sports, you know? Like they score the highest.
No, I'm in the middle of a show, dude. I'm in the middle of a show.
4 roundies, 4 flatties.
He's not saying anything that's funny, but Joe Rogan is acting like this is the hilarious thing ever. There were 4 flat earthers and 4 globe believers. Like there's nothing funny about saying that. Oh, flat earthers went to Antarctica and Will Duffy paid for it. It's not funny. See how he's forcing himself to laugh because he wants his viewers to react this way to this subject.
And
don't you want to see their search histories?
Maybe the FBI do. I don't know.
The flat people, I want to see.
So
their search histories. Why? What is it? What is my search history?
They do this in the middle of our winter, their summer. They observe the sun above the horizon for 24 hours.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no explanation apparently with
they know
most of the models of flat Earth about how this.
There's no explanation on any model of flat Earth ever, except for if you ask Dr. Stephen Alonso, pilot, doctor of all TFP and everybody else.
Flying in the air. They had a 24-hour 360 cameras.
It's all fake. It's done in a Amazon studio. Didn't you listen to the great Eric Dubay? He did a video on it. Copied it directly from the great king. We have a king also. We have kings. We have doctors. We've got all kinds of people here. It's really the most influential bunch of people I've ever seen in my life.
They had live stream of iPhones, all of this stuff, and then they had the people that were on the ground, and the guys that were there observed the sun.
Did the flat earthers switch stances?
So 3
did and 1 didn't?
No, that's not right. It's the other way around. Flip it.
I was just showing you footage.
Oh, this is drone footage?
Yeah, so the final experiment.
So those are apparently mountain pyramids.
Smooth fast.
What it really is.
We have hard launched this episode.
People that believe wild shit about Antarctica.
Yeah, so this final experiment thing sent the world into a spiral. There's this dude, Jeran Campenella.
Hey, my name's been said.
The big.
There it is. Jeran Campenella, full name. And when you type in Jeran Campenella and Antarctica, you get like 100 mainstream media publications that say world's biggest flat earth channel admits Earth is a globe. Flat earther admits he was wrong. Type in Jeran Campenella and Antarctica into a search engine. I'll do it in just a second. But I just want to show you, this is not some fucking tiny channel who I feuded with for clicks, for personal reasons. I got accused of like me feuding with Jeran as like just mindless drama. People told me, shut up about it. You're just starting drama. It's like, no, dude, these guys are used for psychological fucking operations. Jeran was used personally to throw the flat earth topic under the bus in the biggest scripted fashion of all time. There's never been a flat earther of 10 years who gets to go on this trip to Antarctica and publicly throw the topic under the bus the way he did. So the fact that I pointed it out in advance, well in advance, shows you I wasn't fucking just feuding with some random guy. They're saying his name on the most popular podcast in the world. Why are they doing that? because they want you to fucking think that the flat earth is fucking stupid. And people do. To this day, people think that flat followed by earth means fucking laugh and it's stupid. And then they look at guys like Dave Weiss and Jeran and they go, fuck those weirdos. I'm not going to look into that. Which is exactly what they were put there to do. To make it seem like a fucking bunch of weirdos. To turn away the average person who might think to look into it. And then if you are sure that the earth isn't a globe, they're there to intercept you and keep track of you. Steal and harvest your data. Stab you in the fucking back if you figure it out. Slander you if you tell anybody about it. So they don't bring me up on Joe Rogan's podcast. They don't bring me up by name, but they bring up Jeran Campenella by name, a guy who I've exposed, a guy who wanted to measure my penis. That's who they bring up by name on this program. That is seen by millions and millions of people.
Only mountains.
Smooth
And
fast
what it
little bit.
really is. There's
We have
people that believe
hard launched this episode.
people that believe wild shit about Antarctica.
Yeah, so this final experiment thing sent the world into a spiral. There's this dude, Jeran Campenella.
Hey, my name's been said.
The biggest influences, and he's said
he's the biggest influencer. No, he's not. But if you say that on Joe Rogan, millions of people are going to fucking hear it. Oh, Jeran Campenella, the biggest influencer in the flat earth. He went to Antarctica and now he thinks it's a globe. Yeah. That psyop that I told you about before it happened. Some people were like, shut up. Who cares?
I saw the sun above the horizon. I think the Earth's round. And he's immediately been, the Flat Earth Society's just gone into a head spin. They're saying they didn't really go to Antarctica.
Of course not.
They went to the Sphere in Vegas was one of the accusations. They did it at the Sphere in Vegas.
It is.
And once Jeran said that he saw the sun in Antarctica, the entire flat earth community went into a tizzy. They went into a head spin. They all started freaking out. No, not true. The Shills did. I didn't. I already said I think they're going to see a 24-hour sun in Antarctica before it happened. And then when they got back, I said, you know what? Some of it looks kind of phony. It could have been faked even. Not sure if it was all faked or if parts of it were faked or what. But between them all being shilly shitbags, untrustworthy pieces of shit, all of them, tied back to the government, tied back to other shills, you can basically throw the whole thing out. But here it is being talked about as if it was a legitimate experiment done by legit people, while Joe Rogan laughs about it.
Is that funny?
And they were tracking it around.
The sphere's not that big, kids.
Yeah,
No, they can do anything in there, Joe. Just in real time, in 24-hour videos. You can have 360 cameras in there. Nobody would ever know. It's impossible because flat earthers are so dumb that they can't recognize that would be impossible.
It's not that big. I've been there. There's seats everywhere. You would know you're there.
I don't know. They had a bad time. But yeah, that's been pretty wild. Talking of pyramids.
So that's basically it. If you
All right, so that's Jeran being brought up by name. So that leads me to believe he might show up on the show in the future. And you guys, it wasn't that long ago, right, that Joe Rogan flipped on the moon landing. Remember? Does anyone remember Joe Rogan used to say that the moon landing was fake? And then Neil deGrasse Tyson showed up on his program, cucked him out in front of his own audience, and then he changed his mind. Remember? That same Joe Rogan. Simone said, Jeran, I think she means Jeran. Jeran is a selfie out. Shake my head. I don't know if that's what you meant to say. You must have accidentally meant to say selfish or selfish piece of shit. I think you meant to say Jeran is a selfish shillbag, scumbag, scammer piece of shit, and his wife is a whore and his son is a special needs boy. I think that's what you meant to say. All right. Sell out. Sell out. That makes sense. Yeah. Thank you, Simone. We pieced it together. I added a little bit more to it, but all right. So check it out, y'all. Y'all want to know the next thing Jeran's going to do? I think I got it figured out. I think he slipped up and he's talked about it. And just like he talked about how he was going to say the earth cannot be flat if he sees a 24-hour sun in Antarctica. Well, I think Jeran has basically already said the next thing that he's going to flip-flop on. So let me show you guys. Now I'm going to make a prediction. We'll see if I can get this one right. And I'm pretty good about getting this shit right, you know. So I think there's a strong possibility I nail the shit out of this prediction. We'll see. So we're gonna pull up Jeran's stream from last week. So this is from a week ago. And I got, where is it? What's the time stamp? 4:49. All right, y'all, listen closely. And I think you guys are going to already know what I'm going to tell you. If you guys pay attention, you're already going to know what's going to happen. So pay attention. Jeran's going to make his next shill move, and he's basically going to give it away. Just pay attention.
Question. Oh, on a program of yours. Thank you very much, Cyroy. I listened after, and I think I forgot that you were talking about a dike, so I was explaining a canal, but I think it's kind of the same thing. So thank you very much for that. Appreciate the 11 pounds. Jeran, what are your thoughts on NASA videos? Also, do you now think the moon landing is real? I have not fully looked into that. So I talked to Dave McKeegan. I want to get some people together. By the way, if you're interested in this, we're looking for like the best 6 to 10 moon landing debunks. And we're going to go, I'm going to give them to Dave, give him like a week to go through them, and then he's going to try and refute them all. So I'm interested in that. I find this refreshing because this is something that we haven't, right? It's just flat earthers saying we don't believe in the moon landing. And then you got people saying we do believe in the moon. But there's never been a really good kind of conversation. I get along well with Dave McKeegan. And I will challenge him. If something does not prove to me, I'll say, no, it's nothing. And if it is, then I'll say, you know what? I never thought about that. Something to take into account. There's nothing wrong with that, but you should see the people already writing to me saying, oh, so what is it? You're going to fall on purpose today? Like, I don't know which kind of people you think. It's so disgusting to me. There's no reason why anybody would think that about me. But again, what are you going to do? People believe that we faked the trip to Antarctica. So shouldn't be surprising. As far as what my thoughts on NASA videos are, NASA is not a good company.
All right, y'all. The question is, hi, Jeran. What's your thoughts on NASA videos? Also, now, do you think the moon landing was real? And then his response to that lately, because he's been asked this in a number of different ways, is, well, now I'm more open to looking at the evidence. I don't think it's real, but I'm open to looking at the evidence that it is real. Because I was wrong about the earth being flat. So now I'm open to the possibility that I might be wrong about the moon landing. You guys, he's gonna fucking flip-flop on the moon landing. He literally just fucking said it in so many ways. I caught it. I don't know if you did. He's gonna flip on the moon landing. Just like Joe Rogan did. Hey, wouldn't that be a great guest for Joe Rogan to have the former flat earther who also flip-flopped on the moon landing? Joe Rogan has Jeran Campenella on his show in the future, right after he flip-flops on the moon landing. I mean, he already flip-flopped on the flat earth. Why not throw the moon landing in there? He's open to new evidence that it's real. because he was wrong about the flat earth. So now he's open to all the globe cucks telling him how real the moon landings are. And if he can get sufficient enough evidence, then he'll flip on that too. So what in the fuck you think he's going to do next? Flip on the moon landing? Yes, that's what I think. I could be wrong. I think he's going to flip on the moon landing. His audience is shrinking, shriveling. The globe cucks are getting sick of him. His views are just tanking, basically. He was just used in a psychological operation. Why not use him again? That's what his job is, it looks to me, is to take a shit on the truth community and be a flip-flopper, a Benedict Arnold type or whatever, right? And then attack everyone who supported him. Go back on everything he ever said. So then the mainstream media can say, world's most famous flat earther admits Earth is a globe and moon landing is real. See how that works? So I guess I'm not just feuding with some random fuck anymore, huh? It looks like I'm telling you guys the next psychological operation that Jeran will be involved in, most likely, will be him flipping on the moon landing. And then he might go on Joe Rogan's show in front of millions of people and talk about how the moon landing is real and that he's stupid for thinking it was fake. Gust Maunis, who I made a moderator because someone hit him from my channel and he donated a bunch, said, Jake, word, brother. Thank you, Gust. You're the newest moderator for donating, supporting the channel, and because somebody hid you. I'm not sure if it was YouTube or one of my mods, but now you don't got to worry about it anymore. All right. Thank you, Gust. I appreciate that. Very generous of you. So look, guys, Jeran was just asked about the moon landing. How convenient. And he goes into this spiel about, I haven't looked into it. And if we can gather the best moon landing debunks, and then we can have this globe cut go over them, he's setting up a scenario where if he sees certain information, gets certain evidence, he will flip-flop on the moon landing. So this guy's going to be used as the mainstream fucking conspiracy flip-flopper. So again, I ain't just feuding with some random fuck. And any of you football fans who are like, why are you talking about him? Because he's shitting on the truth. Huge fucking lies we're talking about. He's a piece in the puzzle that they're going to dupe millions of people using this piece. So all of you, whoever gave me shit for talking about someone who you didn't know and you didn't care about, well, now you know. It's a big fucking deal. They lied about what the earth is. They're using these characters to continue to push that lie and to dupe people. Oh, look, here's the world's most famous flat earther who now says that Earth is a globe and that the moon landings are real. I saw it on Joe Rogan's podcast. Has to be true. Yeah, these are the people who I talk about and expose. So yeah, 3-4 years ago when some of you gave me shit, and I know I'm just talking about a select few of you, but some of you gave me shit. Stop talking about the shills. Nobody cares. You should care. They're used in gigantic operations that dupe millions of fucking people. That's why I care.
Let me take over NASA tomorrow. Everybody vote for me, and I will change things. Number one thing, you want to take care of the people that live on the earth, meaning that you want to provide them with a nice video feed of 24 hours to show our capabilities. If we can fucking go to Mars and put remote control cars there, then we can have a full 24-hour video of the earth that never ends. It's easy. It costs nothing.
So Jeran has to pretend, even though now he's a globe earther, a total globe cuck, he still has to pretend that he doesn't totally believe the moon landing or the space station. So all that's left is for someone to change his mind. What do you think will happen? He's going to change his mind, of course.
You could get advertising for Target and from Walmart, and you could have a website to be the #1 most visited website on the internet, and it always shows a picture of the Earth. Okay, they can't even get a 24-hour live feed from the ISS because they say it's on the dark side of Earth. So that is a complete slap in the face. Okay, don't tell me that you can control a remote control car. 80 million miles away with a time delay of 25 minutes, but you can't get a 24-hour video of the Earth. Okay. Now, I'm not saying that means that they're fake. I'm not saying it means that the Earth isn't a ball. I'm saying NASA, for some reason, doesn't do what you think they would do, what they should do. I brought this up many times before. This is the truth. If we are giving money to NASA as tax money, and they go out and they hire engineers and they hire scientists, and then those scientists and engineers invent new technology, it should be released open source to the world, period. There is under no circumstances would it be okay for then NASA to sell those patents to the highest bidding company, which is what they do. Because they're the only one who had the patent. Guess who'd venture off if we didn't have NASA for 58 years? They waffle back and forth every time on purpose. They want to make it look like, oh, it's a pollutant. Now, or go to Mars. Go to space industry is a huge sector that is just basically taking money. I mean, again, I believe in the rocket launches now. I've been watching them. Do I believe in satellites? I do. I think that the Earth is a sphere, so I don't have a problem with satellites anymore. It makes sense to me that you could get up going sideways fast enough that eventually you would be going the speed that it would take you to constantly be falling.
So now he believes in rocket launches, and he believes in satellites, and he believes that the Earth is a sphere. See where this is going? So all he has to do is be convinced that he was wrong about the moon landing and the space station. Watch, he's basically gonna tell you that that's what he's gonna do.
Again, you're not nosing down. You would lose altitude. You are flying straight at a speed that you go around the Earth. Now, do I believe in all satellites and that they've never? No, of course not. I think there's lots of fake things that NASA's put out. I think it's more of like I don't know, maybe they overshot our capabilities. Yeah, I mean, do I believe in the Saturn pictures? I've told people before. I do.
All right. So anyone new to the flat Earth topic, new to my channel, who hasn't went down this rabbit hole with me for years, this place isn't what they told you. So the sun isn't a gigantic fireball, and you're not shooting around in outer space, which means you're not a little insignificant speck of nothing on a ball shooting in an infinite vacuum that goes on forever, where there's an infinite amount of other planets and stars and solar systems. So what they do with their story is they make you an insignificant speck of nothing. Would you rather be an insignificant speck of nothing on a ball Earth that shoots through an infinite vacuum, and it was created in a magic explosion for no reason? How does that make you feel inside, that you're an insignificant speck of nothing that was created for no reason, and your life doesn't really matter? Or this place is flat, it's magical, you can manipulate this place, you can make things happen that are basically out of a dream. This reality, if you really know what it is and how it works, you can make magical things happen. And if you really look at the sun and the moon and the stars, they're not what they told you. So basically, this world and everything you see in your world is revolving around you. The sun and the moon and the stars are revolving around you in your own Truman Show world. You are the star of your own Truman Show. And they want to keep you thinking that you're the speck of nothing. So, are you a magical, special creature created here in this amazing world? Or are you the speck of nothing shooting through the infinite hell void, right? So it can change the way you look at everything, Simone. So I used to think, I was just some insignificant speck, but now I don't think that. And because I know I'm not an insignificant speck, I am a very special individual in this very special realm. My life has much more meaning, and my everyday life feels good and meaningful because I know that I'm doing something different and unique, and that I've figured things out more so than the average person around me who is lied to and duped about where they live. So it's kind of like going through life thinking that Santa Claus is real. What's the difference between thinking Santa Claus is real or not? If you think a guy has magical reindeer and delivers presents versus knowing it's your parents who bought those. See what I'm saying? What difference does it make? Yeah, knowing the truth is the difference. And knowing the truth changes the entire way you look at everything. So when you're a little kid and you think that there's a magic man flying with reindeer, it's quite an abrupt fucking change when you find out, oh, no, it's your parents lying to you. Ah! Same thing with the earth. Same thing. They lied to you. And I'm basically that kid at school telling you that you got lied to about Santa. So yeah, it will change everything about your life. My life, if I still believed it was a globe, I wouldn't be doing this. None of you guys would be here. If I still believed that the sun is a fireball and Earth's a globe and I'm an insignificant I wouldn't be doing this. And none of you guys would be here watching me. Me knowing what I know makes me a unique individual and expressing myself in a unique way because of the stuff I know and have found out. So I'm not trying to harp on you. This is an important question that I've been asked infinity times. Why does it matter if the earth is flat or a globe? It's because the globe is a fucking lie attached to you being a speck of nothing. The earth being flat and this place being magical and extraordinary means you have magical and extraordinary capabilities within you that you just haven't figured out yet. Just like I hadn't figured out that I was the funniest dude in the world. I had to unlock that talent, figure it out. And I wouldn't have got there without figuring out that this place ain't what we're told. I could go on and on and on. Hopefully you figure out what I'm trying to tell you, that the truth will change the way you think forever. And the truth is that the earth is not a globe. It's a provable fact. And once you accept that provable fact, facets of your life will radically change. Friendships, the people you talk to, the way you listen to people. If somebody says anything about planets or anything to me, I immediately know they're stupid. So the way I listen to people and interact with people, I can tell if they think this place is a globe or not. All right. Gust says it's flat. Thank you, Gust. I appreciate the very generous super chat donations. Gust says, Jeranism's better part ran down the ball earth. Yeah, so Jeran now, since he's a full-blown globe cuck, his audience has been shrinking little by little each week. So when he first came back from Antarctica, he had a giant crowd. And then the week after, not as many. And the week after, not as many. He loses a little bit of people every week because all he does is the same thing every week. And nobody really wants to listen to Jeran moan and bitch about flat earth like every week. Not even hardcore globe cucks, really. So he's got to move on to the next thing. And the next thing, throwing the moon landing under the bus. He's got to go after the moon landing. That's the next thing. Dcran4D said, I think we all may see a different sun, maybe more than one. No. We all see our own one sun. So we only see one, but we all see our own independent angle to the sun. So if you're way down at the bottom of South America and I'm in Canada, we'll both be looking at a sun, but it won't be triangulated back to the same spot. So the angle at which you see it and the angle at which I see it, it won't go back to one sun. So then people say, well, maybe there's two. No. We all see our own independent angle. So therefore, each observer sees their own sun. And even more crazy, if you whip out a camera, the camera has an eye, and then the camera will see a sun in a different angle than what you see it at, and those angles won't triangulate. So if you add a million cameras to the equation, now you have a million more angles that just go in different directions. So if you were to take a bunch of observers and have them all looking at the sun at the same time, you end up with a bunch of angles shooting in different directions that don't go back to the same one sun. If you ever look into this, you'll find everything I've told you is totally true. And I've proven it over and over. If this is your first time hearing something like this, it will sound wrong. And you'll just assume everyone sees the sun and those angles go whoop, right back to the same one sun. They don't. The angles at which we all see the sun vary and don't triangulate back to one or two or three suns. Everyone sees their own sun. Everyone sees their own moon. Everyone sees their own stars. I didn't think that was what was happening until I found out that it was. And now I have to be the one that explains it, even though I don't know why it's like that. I don't know why it's like that. I don't know why the creator did this. But yeah, if you look into where the sun rises and sets, holy upside down shit, it debunks everything you were ever taught, including the globe model. In Decran 4D, I don't know if you saw at the very beginning of the stream, I read your super chat from the last stream that I missed. So I missed one of your super chats from the last stream. At the very, very beginning of this stream, I read your super chat from last week. In case if you missed it or not, I don't know. Just letting you know, I missed your super chat. I apologize, but I read it earlier. So there you go. So I'm caught up with Decran. I think I'm caught up on super chats. I think. Simone sent another one. Says, yep, I get it, Jake. Why I love watching you. I always felt like an alien in this world. So the whole job of public school and the lies that they taught you are to give you a false reality. And if you live in this false reality and think it's real, you'll basically limit where your mind is capable of going. They'll limit your way of thinking forever. And all they got to do is convince you that you live on that spinning ball. The sun's a fireball and the moon is a rock and that people walked on. If they can get you to believe these core fundamental lies, then you will just walk around thinking that, this is all just a bunch of random nothingness and there is no God. And it was just created for no reason out of a big bang. And if they get you in that mindset, they've got you. They've got you basically stuck in a mental prison, which you won't be able to break free from unless somebody like me comes along and breaks you out of it and snaps you out of it. So they can get you to basically live and die thinking the wrong thing your whole life. And if they know that you're thinking the wrong thing, then you will never be a threat to anyone in this world. The bad guys don't have to worry about you because they know that everything that you think it's all wrong. Imagine knowing, that people are wrong and that you're the one who planted them with the wrong information. You're the one who duped them into thinking the wrong thing. Well, then you know for sure you're smarter than those people. So if you can dupe billions of people into believing the wrong thing, you personally, then that means you will know that you're smarter than all those people that you duped, therefore making you more powerful than all those people. This has been going on for a long time. And so the men that run this place, they enjoy very much lying and duping people so that they know everyone believes the wrong thing and thinks the wrong thing, while they have the real information, the real knowledge. See? So the people who run this place, it's in their best interests to keep us all at the bottom stupid and thinking the wrong things, believing a bunch of horse shit like dinosaurs and talking about what happened billions of years ago and the earth, forming in outer space and stuff like that. They know that we're so far off from the truth, we'll never wake up if they can get us to believe in their horse shit stories. Whereas if you find out this place ain't what they told you, now you just peeled back a layer. And then you find out the moon isn't something that they walked on. Now you just peeled back another layer. All space travel's fake. Oh, now you just peeled back another layer. It's like all the rocket launches are not going to space. Now you're peeling back. They're just straight stealing our money and faking space. Now you're peeling back another. See what I'm saying? So you can't peel these layers without that initial truth that they fucking lied to you about this, that, or the other. So you got to start with something like the moon landing. Find out the moon landing's fake. Then you find out all space missions are fake. Then you find out that nothing really ever left Earth or went anywhere. Then you find out the Earth's flat, right? And all the shit they've been telling you is wrong. And so then it spirals from there. Then it becomes like, well, how big is this place? How far does it go? If I take off in a boat, if I get a big enough boat and a crew and we start going south or to the north, are they going to stop us at some point? And tell us you're not allowed to go there. Turn around. We don't know how big this place really is. We don't know if we're barnyard animals being kept imprisoned and they got a bunch of clowns and people lying to us to keep us believing the wrong shit while we're stuck in this prison. So much. I can go on and on and on. But yes, to tie it all back together, Dave Weiss, his job is to keep you from the ultimate truth. If you find out that the earth isn't a globe, Dave Weiss is there to fucking intercept you and keep track of you with his app. And his main right-hand man for 10 years was Jeran Campenella. Dave Weiss is Jeran's boss. Dave Weiss is basically Jeran's handler. Right now, they're pretending to be against each other because Jeran flip-flopped, but they're still on the same team. And one baller says, in your opinion, what is the purpose of life? I can throw a few ideas out there, like perhaps we're like the organic matter inside some sort of a experiment of sorts. Like maybe we're inside of a computer simulation, but we're the organic material inside the computer realm, right? So maybe it's like a massive, gigantic Truman Show type thing where multiple of us are Trumans, but then there's a shitload of NPCs, and it's like this evil fucking game that we're in. I have no idea. There's things about this realm that are magical and amazing, and then there's things about this realm that it's like hell. Like I'm living in hell. Like when I look at like the people on fentanyl that are bent over in the ghettos and how trashy they are. And then the fact everyone's getting lied to and duped by the elites like every day and they're falling for it. I feel like I'm in hell. But then I can also go to a nice beach in Northern California or Oregon and go on a walk and be like, man, this place is beautiful. It's like, this is like heaven. And so it's like heaven and hell rolled into one, this place. And it can be as much like heaven or as much like hell as you want to make it. So if I want to forget about these shitbags and shills, I can go to the beach and totally forget about them for a day or two and just be in heaven and be like, man, this place is so awesome. It's like created for us to enjoy. But then I'll see like, people bent over on fentanyl and I'll have to see these shills lying to people and I'll be like, man, this place is fucking evil. I don't want to come back and have to repeat this again. I want to ascend higher from this realm. When I die, I want to leave this place and not have to repeat this again. And so I don't know if this place is like a hell trap to where you have to repeat it over and over again until you figure out how to ascend from it with your own consciousness. I don't know, man. Still trying to figure out what the hell this place is to this day, to this minute. While I'm telling you this sentence, I still don't fucking know. I'm just letting words come out of my mouth at this point. And I could totally be wrong about all that shit that I just said. All right. So let me tie it back to Jeran. I think Jeran's going to flip-flop on the moon landing. And then I think there's a possibility he could go on Joe Rogan's show and then say that the moon landing's fake. And then Joe Rogan and him talk about how they both used to be retarded and believe in the moon landing being fake. But now they're both smart and they know it's real. So I think Jeran may end up on the Rogan show, but I think most definitely Jeran's going to flip-flop on the moon landing. And if you see anyone else bring this up after me, like Natcha Queefer or Zetetic Princess Warrior, and they tell you that, I'm going to predict that Jeran flip-flops on the moon landing. We're the first people to predict that. No, you're not. So I'm the first one to tell you Jeran's going to flip-flop on the moon landing. So if you hear this same thing from Nacho Queefer and Zetetic Princess Warrior next week, you'll know where you heard it from first. Because the rising earthers like to steal shit that I've said and assimilate it into their own bullshit. And make it out like they were the ones calling these shills out the whole time, when they were not. All right. Oh yeah, let me draw for you guys the 6 degrees of separation. In fact, I already did draw it, so why draw it twice? I'll just show it to you. Check it out. So here's what I made earlier. So you got Trump at the tippy top, right? Trump, and then you got Elon, the two most famous guys in the world, front page news every day. Do we agree? Trump, president number 1, Elon, president number 2. Front page news, multiple stories every fucking day. So to me, that's like most famous 2 dudes in the world, Trump and Elon. Trump, Elon. Both Trump and Elon went on Joe Rogan's show. Both Trump and Elon are promoted by Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan openly promotes Trump and Elon and has had them on his show. So I have a trifecta there. Trump, Rogan, Elon, Rogan. Alex Jones. Alex Jones supports Elon. Alex Jones supports Trump. He promotes Cybertruck and Tesla. Alex Jones has been on Rogan's show multiple times. Rogan supports Alex Jones. See this? So Alex Jones may not have hung out with Elon or Trump, but he has hung out with Rogan, and Rogan's hung out with Trump and Elon. And then you got Dave Weiss. Dave Weiss has hung out with Alex Jones, who supports Trump and Elon. Alex Jones has hung out with Rogan. Rogan has hung out with Trump and Elon. So Dave Weiss, not that far away from Trump and Elon when you really look. And then you have Alex Stein, who's hung out with Alex Weiss, or with Dave Weiss, and with Jeran. Eddie Bravo has also hung out with Rogan, and's connected with Dave Weiss, and connected with Alex Jones. Eddie Bravo. And you have Jeran and Dubé, who've both been brought up on Rogan's show. Jeran and Eric Dubé, both brought up on Rogan's show. See what I'm saying? Oh, Jake, why are you talking about these irrelevant nobodies? Yeah, they're fucking tied back to Trump, basically, if you really look at it. And I saw that I had a super chat from Simone. You're a sweetheart, Simone. I really appreciate the generosity tonight. She said, love your thought process. My kind of peeps, you're beyond knowledge of lots of people. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. I know this. That's why I am attacked. That's why I am slandered by shill bags on like a weekly basis. That's why I feel the need to set the record straight so often. Is because if I keep my mouth shut and I don't set the record straight, these shills run wild and will just tell all sorts of lies. And then there's people who follow them and fucking repeat those lies. Thank you very much, Simone. Very, very sweet of you. Okay, so guys, this isn't too crazy here. Trump connected back to Rogan and Elon. Rogan has had Alex Jones on his show. Eddie Bravo hangs out with Dave Weiss on Alex Jones' show. I mean, these people are high up the chain to get in those positions in front of millions of people. These aren't just random YouTubers who I'm beefing with for no reason. Dcran4D said, glad I found your channel. Love your fake football videos. That's what brought me here. Sweet feet. All my fake football audience, I incline you to look into my entire catalog. If you scroll back more than 3 years, you're going to find all my videos were about truth and conspiracies. I only started covering football 3 years ago. For whatever reason, the football videos catch an algorithm stroke, and YouTube allows me to get good view counts, decent view counts on the NFL content. When the season ends, I move on and talk about other stuff, and I don't get anywhere near as many views, but I enjoy talking about other stuff. And I, especially after the NFL season ends, I'm ready to talk about other stuff. And so there's this portion of my audience that will say, hey, just stick to football. I don't care about politics. I want football. And to those people, I got to be like, look, I ain't going to talk about football until next fucking September. So you're just going to have to put up with me not being a football channel until football season. And the only reason I cover the football is because it gets a lot of views and it brings in new people. So I like the fact that the football stuff brings in new people, but I wish more of them would be open to my other content outside of football being fake, because it all ties back to the truth. Football is fake, and that's the truth. Sports are rigged, and that's the truth. But politics are fake, and politics are rigged. That's the truth too. And even more important truth. But some of the football guys tell me, Jake, I don't care about politics. Just talk about football being fake. One guy asked me if I'll please cover the draft, and will I cover the trades? I'm like, fuck no, I'm not going to talk about the draft or the trades. I don't care. Rose just texted me, which means I probably missed some super chats. And she said I missed super chats from Gust, which is a new moderator who's very generous, so I don't want to do that. So let me go ahead and grab those super chats. And then I got a little more for you here as well. More info to go over. So yeah, if the plan is to have Jeran throw the moon landing under the bus, me talking about it and telling you about it right now probably has them scrambling a bit. They might be like, shit, he knows. He already knows what we're going to do. I must have missed him a while ago. Gust said 100% facts. Planets are wandering stars. Yeah, I had this argument with a dude in my comments section that, like, you don't see actual desert features on Mars. You only see that on the Hubble telescope pictures. Hubble telescope doesn't fucking exist. So therefore the pictures from it aren't real. So the canyons and the ice caps, you don't see that. If you look at Mars through an amateur telescope, you see grainy, brownish red, and then a black spot, and then a white spot on top. You see a grainy white spot. You don't know that that's a polar ice cap on a planet. But I had a dude argue with me and tell me that he sees ice caps and he sees the canyons through his amateur telescope. So I literally Googled, can you see the canyons and ice caps with an amateur telescope? And Google even tells you, no, you can't. Only Hubble can see that. And the best observatory here on the ground with the most with the most powerful telescope You can't see details of the canyons or the ice caps. Only Hubble can see the details of that stuff. So what you see is a white spot on top of a reddish brown thing. But a guy told me, Jake, I see the ice caps through my telescope. And I was like, do you see a white spot or do you see ice caps? And he's, dude, no, they're ice caps. So when I sent him the Google link, which says that you can't see that stuff with any amateur telescope, it's just like a white spot. It's just it's reddish and brown, and there's a black spot and a white spot. And people are like, oh, those are canyons and craters. Only if you look at the Hubble telescope footage. Not sure why I went off on that rant, but it just reminded me of a dude who tried to like push the narrative that you can see canyons and ice caps. It's like, no, you can't see that. And Gust said it's flat. I think I got that one from Gust. I think I got this one. Yeah, I got that one. All right, I think I caught up on Gust's super chats that I missed. All right. Thank you, Gust. Appreciate that, bro. All right. So back on screen. Whoop. Let's finish this up. Just in case anyone's just now tuning in, I'm predicting that Jeranism is going to flip-flop on the moon landing. He already flip-flopped on flat Earth. Next is the moon landing. Maybe next after that, space station. And they might even do something where like, Jeran hangs out with Neil deGrasse Tyson or an astronaut, and then they school him, right? And then maybe he goes on the Joe Rogan show and they talk about how they used to be moon landing deniers, but now they believe it's real.
I have a hard time with those. I have a hard time with anything, the pictures of the planets close up, the picture of Pluto, things like that, because nobody can really say that that's not true. What are you going to do? You can't look at it from your house. So whatever NASA gives you, you kind of have to believe. Like, oh, but there's also China. Again, to me, it's going to take a lot more research for me to say definitively that all of space travel is fake. Although
it's going to take a lot more research for him to say that definitively all space travel is fake. I've already done my research, Jeran. All space travel is fake. There is no real outer space travel. There is no point at which you pop it into no gravity land and float around. So you can't land on the moon. You can't land on Mars. They've lied about doing those things. There is no space travel, Jeran. So Jeran is setting the scene to flip-flop. Listen close, you guys. He's telling you.
Whatever NASA gives you, you kind of have to believe. Like, oh, but there's also China. Again, to me, it's going to take a lot more research for me to say definitively that all of space travel is fake. Although I might say, I don't know if we've been that far. I don't even know if we've been outside of Earth orbit, to be honest. But again, would I be surprised at this point that the moon landing was real?
Coming out of his mouth right now. Here, let me pull this super chat off screen for a minute so you guys don't get sidetracked. And then I'll answer the massage with a happy ending in a second. And the answer is no. But anyway, listen closely. Listen.
I might say, I don't know if we've been that far. I don't even know if we've been outside of Earth orbit, to be honest. But again, would I be surprised at this point that the moon landing was real? Would I be surprised? At this point, if it's real, then I would expect answers to all of our questions.
You see where that's going? You see why I made this prediction that he's going to flip-flop on the moon landing? I hope you guys are seeing what I'm seeing here. Like, he's making it very fucking clear. If we can get answers to these questions, then I guess I could maybe possibly consider that the moon landing is real. I already know what's going to happen. Already told everyone, Jeran, that you're going to flip-flop. All right. Have I had a happy ending from a massage? No. But one time, I wanted one and didn't get it. So one time I was in Reno and I had won a bunch of money playing advantage slots, and I was up like $800 for the night, and I was feeling really good. And there was this seedy looking massage place across from the casino. And one of my former friends, Thomas, told me he had gotten many of these happy endings, and that's basically like a given, that if you go to any of those massage places, like you just, they'll either ask you if you want a happy ending or you tell them, and that it goes down. And well, that didn't happen. Instead, like the girl just gave me a massage, and then they just charged me money, and there was no offer of a happy ending. And then as I was like putting on my clothes, and she goes, "Would you like to tip me for the massage?" I said, "Well, I didn't get to finish." And she goes, "We don't do that here." And then she walked out of the room. So apparently I went to the one massage parlor that doesn't do that and gets offended if you mention it. So I just got a regular massage, and it felt okay, but it wasn't worth it was $75, and it was supposed to be an hour. And I swear she chump changed me. It was over, like, it seemed like in 20 minutes. And then a few times she started like doing the whole, like, cram your elbow into my back, to where I was like, ow, just do nice soft stuff. Don't fucking hurt me. So at one point she started to fucking hurt me. Never again. Never again. I learned my lesson. Don't expect a happy ending at any random massage place. And if that's the case, I'm never going into any massage place ever again. They can fuck off. I'll try and get laid the old-fashioned way, which means I don't get laid. Just joking, or am I? People like my funny stories because they're true and they're hilarious. It's like the creator teaches me a lesson in a very humorous way. So humorous, I want to tell everybody. So there was like this one story where I went on a date with a girl, and like she wanted to use me to buy a Hello Kitty coffee maker. And it was like such a ridiculous date that happened, and such a ridiculous story, that like I felt inclined to tell it to my audience. And my audience enjoyed it so much that they paid me to tell the story again weeks later. So yeah, I'm not afraid to talk about funny stuff that happens to me. All right. So there you go. Oh my gosh, is Simone sending me another donation asking me to do YMCA again? Twice in one night? Hey, you know, if you're sending super cheddar my way, what can I say? You know, I want to please the audience. And if that's what pleases you, then I guess at this time I should just do. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. My favorite freaking song is freaking YMCA. Yay. Simone loves this song, and you know I love young men. We like to hang out with all the boys. Young men, you know that I love young men. And Simone, I think that she likes young men. So let's go there to the YMCA, because it makes me feel so happy. Do the little dance. Fun to freaking stay at the YMCA. I really love this place, the YMCA. Yay. They've got young men there. You can have a good meal. And quite frankly, I like how I feel. All right. What a ridiculous song. But I've made a lot of money singing ridiculous songs. I've made thousands of dollars singing the most ridiculous of songs. So, when people ask me what I do for a living, well, sometimes I sing really stupid songs. like when it's requested. I know you, of course, love the greatest president who ever lived, who does the greatest impression that you ever known. And that's why for you, sweetie, I'm thinking I'm going to run for a third term. You all want the greatest president to continue being the president forever, right? I mean, quite frankly, do you expect me to undo what the dirty liberal Democrats have done over the last 4 years, and only 4 years? It's going to take me at least 8 years to fix America and make America great again. Preferably maybe 12 years or so. So that is why not only should I be able to run for a third term and serve for a third term, I think I should be able to run and serve a fourth and fifth and even a sixth term as well. We're going to do away with this voting thing. If you agree with me, you can electronically submit your one-time vote for the next 6 elections for me. So I'm going to set it up to where if you want me to be a president the next 6 times in a row, you can send in your electronic vote. And of course, I'm going to make sure that all of your votes are submitted using Trumptricity so that it does not cause any carbon footprints whatsoever. There you go. Okay. So now let's see what I have left on my list after I did all this shill busting. Oh, yeah. So this same guy who's going to be used to discredit the moon landing being faked in the future and say that it's real, and he's basically going to flip-flop on the moon landing. This same guy was already used to flip-flop on the flat earth topic, and it's the same guy who wanted to measure my penis. What are the chances that this guy they plan to use filed a false restraining order against me and challenged me to a penis measuring contest? And he just might be the guy who ends up on Joe Rogan's show saying that the moon landing's real. Imagine that. Small world, huh? Small world. Same guy who wanted to measure my penis. Huh? Same guy who tried to throw me under the bus years ago. How about that? So now let's look at a few of Jeran's co-stars. There was a time when there was a show called The Baby Truther Show, where Dave Weiss, Jeran, Rose 777, and Alex Stein would all do this god-awful fucking show until one day I showed up, exposed it, and then destroyed it, and now they don't do it anymore. But since then, Alex Stein's been promoted to Tucker Carlson. He has hundreds of thousands of subscribers. But before Alex Stein blew up and got promoted, he was a sidekick lackey for Jeran and David Weiss. Check this out. Shit.
What you're seeing here is a mirage.
Yeah. You know what time it is, right? It's Thursday, y'all. Time to take the training wheels off.
Wow.
We got Rose 777 here. She's yelling poppycock.
Poppycock.
Dave Weiss with his backwards cap. In the flat earth, sun, moon, and zodiac clock app. And we got prime time. Alex Stein, number 99. He's on the grind all the time. And Jeran from Jeranism, keeping all these babies in line.
All right. So what do we have here, y'all? We got Rose 777 a evil shill witch who has also flip-flopped on the flat earth topic, Dave Weiss, who I've talked about this whole stream. Here's primetime Alex. What's he doing? Humping the chair. Every time Alex would appear on screen on the Baby Truther show, he would always go, every time. That's how I started doing that impression of him, was because he was so fucking annoying. Any of you who fucking think Alex Stein is funny, you're stupid. No, he's not. He's a fucking shill who ties right back to all these evil shill bags. There he is, hanging out with them. Gus says, I love all you beautiful people here supporting Jake. Thank you, Gus. You are a gentleman and a scholar. Really appreciate that. Check it out. Check it out.
He's on the grind all the time. And Jeran from Jeranism, keeping all these babies in line. Let's kick it.
Look, there's the feet, just like I told you. And he's wearing these little gay shorts, acting all flamer. Jeran with his orange shirt, and then he's going to throw up the 666.
The show when it starts now.
What? And then Rose 777, she throws up double 666s over her eyes. Whoop. Almost blocked it. So this is Rose 777 here. Double 666s over her eyes. And then she does this really cringy dance to this really cringy song. In fact, I think this is one of the most cringiest fucking things I've ever heard or seen in my life. This is supposed to be a truth show with truthers, right? Wah! Wah!
And all the time. And Jeran from Jeranism, keeping all these babies in line. Let's kick it. It's the Baby Truther show when it starts now. Baby show. It's the Baby Truther show. It's the Baby Truther show. It's the Baby Truther show.
Look at the way Rose is dancing. Does that make you want to listen to some truth? Do you know you're about to get fed some hardcore truth when you see a fucking wheelchair witch fucking dancing like this, putting 666s on her face like a tard muffin? Watch this dancing, and you tell me if this is something you could take seriously.
On the grind all the time. And Jeran from Jeranism, keeping all these babies in line. Let's kick it. It's the Baby Truther show when it starts now. Baby Truther show.
Shit. You're blocking the Rose 777. Here, I'll read your super chat in just a second. Everybody just focus on how fucking cringy this is. And this is Dave Weiss and Jeran's show that they ran together for a long time. They had guests like Owen Benjamin, Daniel Pratt, Awake Souls, you know, lovely individuals.
He's yelling poppycock.
Poppycock.
Dave Weiss with his backwards cap. In the flat earth, sun, moon, and zodiac clock app. And we got prime time. Alex Stein, number 99. He's on the grind all the time. And Jeran from Jeranism, keeping all these babies in line. Let's kick it. It's the Baby Truther show when it starts now. Baby Truther show. It's the 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 Baby Truther show. It's the
Dancing cartoon baby. Dancing cartoon baby. Flamer acting like a flamer. Crazy witch putting up 666s. Jeran with his son on screen. Look, Jeran's got his boy on screen. You know, a song like that and a cast acting like that, it almost looks like they're trying to get children to fucking watch. Which is what I called them out on. I said, hey, what's with the pee-doo shoe? Why are you acting like a bunch of pee-doos trying to attract children to your show, dancing like that and acting like that, having dancing babies on screen, calling it Baby Truther Show. Are you trying to attract young kids to your show, you pedoos? And guess what? Within a month of me calling them out for doing that, they shut the show down. They stopped doing it. They don't do it anymore. Because somebody came along and pointed out how fucking gross and ridiculous the whole thing is. Nobody did that until I did. Where was Nacho Queefer? Where was Zetetic Warrior? They weren't there to call this out. In fact, speaking of Nacho Queefer, motherfuck face, Nachiketa moved in with this lady. Moved from India to live with Rose 777 in her fucking 666 on her eyes fucking shill ass. Look at this. This is who Nachiketa moved in with. Nachiketa, why did you move in with that lady? Nachiketa? Zetetic Warrior, why didn't you warn your friend that he was moving in with a fucking evil witch? I warned Nachiketa. I'm on record warning, stupid ass Nachiketa. You're going to move into the house of a fucking witch, Shill, who was a co-host on the Baby Truther Show, who dances around like a crazy witch with 666s on her eyes. I think I know more about Rose than you do. So I have talked to her and we are good friends. And I know that she used to be on the Baby Truther Show, but I don't care about that because we are very good friends and I know her better than you. And then fast forward, Rose tries to get Nachiketa's channel taken down and now they aren't friends anymore. Wow. 47-year-old dude goes to live with a shill witch bitch from Jeran's show and it didn't work out amazingly? Color me shocked. Oh yeah, that's right. I was the guy who fucking said that would happen. Yeah, so Nacho Queefer and his Rising Earth cult tie right back to this shit right here. Ties right back to this fucking evil witch in the corner with her fucking 666 signs on her face. So the Rising Earth cult never bothered to call out these guys until Jeran came back from Antarctica. They never noticed any of this was cringy and weird and crazy. Never fucking cared to call it out. Oh, but they want to act like they're flat earth leaders and sheriffs now. Let me tell you something, Zetetic fucking Warrior. You will never be the leader of my flat earth. You will never lead anything in my realm, bitch. Neither will you, Nacho Queefer. You will never be the leader of the flat earth. Me and Q and Fee are light years ahead of you and will always be light years ahead of you. You guys are not the leaders or the sheriffs. You're nobodies. You're fucking shills. Here to intercept Jeran's stray subscribers who left. So yeah, 47-year-old Nacho Queefer gonna move in with Rose 777. And then pretend he had no idea she was a shill. Yeah, okay. You're connected to that girl for life, Nacho. For life. You are connected to that witch on screen with the 666s. You lived in her house. You left where you lived to go live with her. And I specifically warned you, you're going to move in with a fucking shill. And then you basically were like, I know her better than you. I am Nacho Queefer and I am very slick and sly. And I want to tell you about the Rising Earth. Stay away from the Rising Earth cult. I'm fucking telling all of you. If I spot you over there in the Rising Earth cult being all cool with those dudes, I'm going to keep an eye on you and I'll out you when the time comes. So there's Dave, there's Jeran, there's Alex Stein, Rose 777, Cartoon Babies, Baby Truth is Show. Yeah, Owen Benjamin was a guest on that show. Awake Souls was a guest on that show. Daniel Pratt was a guest on that show. Oh, they've had lots of different guests. Not me. I was the one who fucking destroyed that show. See the difference? And Awake Souls will tell you I'm the shill and I'm friends with Jared. No, I'm the guy that destroyed that shit. Meanwhile, Awake Souls went on the Baby Truther show to show their debunked fucking stereographic map that Q and Fee picked apart many times. Like I said, shills of a feather flock together, and I've proven tonight you can tie all these guys back 6 degrees of separation all the way back to Trump and Elon. MCS or MC Scorpio says, can you view your audience Q and Fee his vid about Karen B, David Weiss in space? I'm going to do you one better. I'm going to finish it out with with 2 of Q and Fee's videos. So thank you for the donation, MS Scorpio. Shout outs to Q and Fee, the only other flat Earth channel that I trust fully. Like, that's the only dude whose information that I say is legit and that I back up. And I've had him on my program. And we both agree. When we talk, we agree about all these people. Everybody I call a shill, Q and Fee also agrees. There's nobody that we disagree about. So we've talked about all these people and we agree unanimously on down the board. So I'm going to show some of Q's work because Q went and dug up some dirt on Will Duffy, y'all. So I know some of you guys have a hard time following Q and Fee's work, but he went and dug for some dirt on Will Duffy, and he might have found it. I can't say for sure, but we're about to look at that right now. So let's see what sort of dirt that Q and Fee looked up on Will Duffy. Shit. Thought I was showing it, and I'm totally not. So I should probably do that. There. Okay.
Hey Duffy, is this you? Cybercrime arrested? Huh. It looks like it's you. William Christopher Duffy. How many are there in Colorado? William Christopher Duffy. Emerson Equity LLC. Will Duffy. Emerson Equity. William Christopher Duffy arrested for cybercrime. Same age, weight, height. Is this you, Willie? Are you a cyber criminal?
Q and Fee finding records for a Will Duffy who fits all the same exact parameters of the Will Duffy that we know. How about that? I've heard that the guy is a cyber criminal. So this goes along with what I've heard.
Here on the bottom it says cybercrime and bond $10,000. Cybercrime. That can be a lot of things. Duffy, can you tell us what you did? We want to know. Not sure if any of those cases against Duffy is related to cybercrime.
January 23, 2025. Customer dispute. Status pending. Allegations are violations of federal securities laws, fraud in offer or sale of securities, fraud in connection with the purchase of sale of securities, violations of California securities laws, unsuitable recommendations, misrepresentations and omissions of material fact, California unfair, unlawful and fraudulent business practices, violation of California's financial elder abuse law, violation of Washington's Securities Act, violation of Washington's Consumer Protection Act, violation of the Colorado Securities Act, violation of Colorado Consumer Protection Act, breach of contract, common law fraud, breach of fiduciary duty, negligence, and gross negligence. October 17, 2024. Customer dispute. Status pending. Allegations are rescission, breach of written contract, breach of fiduciary duty of failing to act in claimant's best interest, negligence and gross negligence, misrepresentations and omissions, violation of FINRA rules, violation of federal securities laws, violation of the Colorado Securities Act and violation of Reg BI. Damage amount requested, $120,000. June 11, 2024. Customer dispute. Status pending. Allegations are unsuitable investments, violation of federal securities laws, fraud in offer or sale of securities, fraud in connection with the purchase or sale of securities, violations of the Colorado Securities Act, violation of the California Securities Act, California unfair, unlawful and fraudulent business practices, misrepresentations and omissions of material fact, breach of contract, common law fraud, breach of fiduciary duty, negligence, and gross negligence. Damage amount requested, $360,000.
Okay, so just in case anyone's wondering, the picture is definitely fake. Q and Fee made this to be funny because there is no picture of Duffy associated with these crimes on the website. It doesn't show a profile picture. But these crimes are attached to the name Will Duffy, which fits all the parameters of being the same Will Duffy, of course, that supposedly financed the final experiment. So these charges that Q and Fee found most likely are real. And it makes sense that if this guy is a pawn, he didn't really fund the final experiment. He's just the figurehead in front of it. So if this guy's a criminal who's working with police, they might have a deal in place where he's to be the figurehead in a gigantic operation run by the government, where it's made to look like he's the one financing it. So he may be working with authorities because he's been busted in the past, for all we know. In the Flat Earth, they have sex offenders and criminals playing roles. So it wouldn't surprise me if this is another criminal working with police.
June 6, 2024. Customer dispute. Status pending. Allegations are violations of federal securities laws, violations of the Colorado Securities Act, breach of contract, common law fraud, breach of fiduciary duty, negligence, and gross negligence. Damage amount requested, $135,000. April 19, 2024. Customer dispute. Pending. Allegations are breach of written contract, breach of fiduciary duty, failure to supervise, negligence and gross negligence, misrepresentations and omissions, violation of FINRA rules, violation of federal securities laws, violation of California and Colorado Securities Acts, violation of the Investment Advisors Act of 1940. September 16, 2022. Customer dispute. Status settled. Allegations are negligence, professional negligence, violations of law, unsuitable recommendations, breach of contract, breach of fiduciary duty, breach of securities laws and regulations.
Settled? That one's recent, y'all. September 16th. Oh, no, 2022. Never mind. That's not that recent. The last one was 2024, but this one's 2022. But it says he settled this one.
Allegations are negligence, professional negligence, violations of law, unsuitable recommendations, breach of contract, breach of fiduciary duty, breach of securities laws and regulations. Settlement amount, $225,000. November 9, 2021. Customer dispute. Status settled. The allegations are unsuitable investments and breach of fiduciary duty. Damage amount requested $218,926,000. Settlement amount, $10,100.
All right. And also I wanted to show Q and Fee has 2 channels. He has one called Q and Fee. That's his main channel. And then he has this other one, Q and Fees with an apostrophe S. And on this channel, he shows some more obscure videos. But this is the one where he had the Will Duffy. And he also exposed this Zetetic Princess Warrior. So if anyone has heard of this Zetetic Warrior, Q and Fee just totally exposed this dude. And I'll go ahead and play this one as well.
Claim, just like that Gleason's model, as you're conflating maps and models and presenting that as de facto reality and the only option of what this Earth could be other than a globe. It's so limiting. It's a new type of dogma, a new orthodoxy that's developing that we must break. The reality is we don't know what this place is.
Yeah, I totally agree on that. Maps don't represent some reality.
Someone saying I missed the super chat. Tell me what type your message and I'll pull it up here. Sorry if I missed your super chat. I apologize. Pull it up here, or type whatever you want and I'll pull it up.
But we still have some morons that push maps as reality.
We can't know. It's beyond our understanding. The lies give it away. That's all you need really to understand. You don't need to make claims. I get it. You can present things as proof of concept. But to make consistent, unsubstantiated, unverified claims is probably not the way to go. FPV Angel coming at you. Go check his channel out.
Why you want us to check FPV Angel's channel out? Is that because you want us to have a good laugh? And he's pushing a map as reality.
Now, the map we're using, it was decoded by series by hacking into the algorithm of Google Earth. And what he found was, as you're slowly zooming out from the lower levels are actually correct. It uses the correct map at the lower levels. But as you start zooming out, it starts adding this rounded distortion to the imagery.
Okay, so this is FPV Angel's model, a Mercator model where the sun goes in and out of these portals. Q and Fee and myself have debunked this guy. He's another nameless, faceless coward. Won't give up his name, won't show his face. I asked him how transcontinental cruises work. He denies transcontinental cruises. So this is a guy who was being promoted by Z, saying, oh, go check out FPV Angel. His channel is so cool. And really, FPV Angel says that Earth is a Mercator map and the sun goes in and out of these portals. And then he claims that there's more land to the west that we're not allowed to go to. And so when you ask him, well, how does a transcontinental cruise work that goes from California, let's say, to Japan or Australia? He says that there's no such thing, that they go to those cruises go to the east. That's fucking impossible. So he has to deny that anything crosses the international date line. So this is a shill channel that Q and Fee and myself have both debunked, yet he's being promoted by Zetetic Warrior.
And he's pushing a map as reality.
Now, the map we're using...
FPV Angel coming at you. Go check his channel out.
See? FPV Angel coming at you. Go check his channel out. And what do you get? A fucking Mercator map with suns going across in straight lines, which is wrong. And then he says that you can't cross the date line. And then when you give him any examples of boats doing it, he says that that's a lie. So he won't show his fucking face, dude. So that's somebody who's who's promoting a shill. And then he also promotes Awake Souls to homo shills who slander me.
And on the other hand, you promote a retard that pushes this bullshit for many years.
FPV Angel. He thinks that rainbows are like halos of these giant angel demigod beings that exist like somewhere here, like in the ground. I don't know how to explain it, but let him do it.
Maybe I don't understand, but can you explain me why we need to listen to that retard?
But anyway, much love, either Jason or Ronnie. Good to see you. Good stuff.
Much love, Jason and Ronnie. Zetetic Warrior. says, go check out FPV Angel. Much love, Ronnie and Jason. Ronnie and Jason are a couple homo shillbags who have lied and slandered me, lied and slandered Q and Fee over and over. They've been proven liars. They call out everyone as being a shill. They've called out Nachaketa as being a shill. And I think they've even called out Z as being a shill. But recently they flip-flopped and now they're being nice to everyone. And so since they had Mark Sargent on their show after calling him a shill, now suddenly they want to play nice with everyone. And Z's telling people to go over to their channel. And here's the deal with the Jake Hole guy. I already figured out who the Jake Hole guy was. This guy right here. I already know who this guy is. This guy right here is King Stephen, the online bully who likes to hang out with guys like Zetetic Princess Warrior, who likes to hang out with Transformers. Stephen likes to hang out with Transformers. Stephen is an online drama queen. Stephen wants me to share his channel. I'm not going to share your channel, Stephen. Fat boy. Fat ass. Stephen is a big, fat, lonely loser who streams for 12 hours a day and nobody likes him. And he mind fucks like maybe 10 people who are like his little mental slaves. And he wants more mental slaves. And the only way he gets it is by starting drama and then acting like he's some sort of a big deal because he's being attacked. So he'll show me talking about him now. And that'll be like the big highlight on his channel, me talking about him. Fuck off, King Stephen, you fat lop-ass loser. Hi, I'm King Stephen. If you're mad, you're mine. He's a demon. He's a demon. Look at his eyes. Right now. Watch, here's what King Stephen would say. Look at his eyes. He's a diamond. 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 That's what King Stephen would do for 12 straight hours. That's the guy who wants me to share a link to his channel. Somebody who's an online bully, who sucks dick and can't get anybody to watch him, who has to start drama in order to get people to watch him. He's going to show this and be like, I got Jake the asshole mad. I'm so good at what I do. Hoo ha 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 ha. Okay, King Stephen, but you're still the one who hangs out with Transformers and Zetetic Princess Warrior. Nice try, King Stephen.
Check out Awake Souls. They have good stuff. See this Awake Souls channel?
Oh shit. Now you want people to check out Jason and Ronnie's channel. They also push a map and model as reality.
It's right there. See Awake Souls. Dave Weiss called their channel the dumbest channel on YouTube.
Oh, typical case of the pot calling the kettle black. No. These are retard shills. Of course they have some good stuff. Why you promote these people that are clearly liars and push maps and models as a so-called reality.
And if you zoom in too on the equator on the left side, if you go to the left side of it, you'll actually see that there actually is a corner to it.
Hey, see, you want people to see this? Do you see corners on this round map? This is what you promote.
You know, it's funny. The guy who is trying to share his link, he's going to get brought up in this video, and he's going to be hanging out with Transformers in this video. So that means in this video, I'm going to get to clown on his fucking stupid ass. And you guys are going to get to see proof that he hangs out with Zetetic Princess Warrior and Transformers for fun. He goes on there to promote himself.
If you promote these two clowns, this is the virtual reality. Yeah, and virtual reality have the word reality in it.
It's a corner there, even though he's trying to say that it was a circle. Even this still has a corner to it.
Hey, see, these are the retards you promote. Maybe it's me, but I don't spot any corners.
Yeah, Z, you can't be the leader of the Flat Earth and then promote FPV Angel with his wrong fucking model and then promote Awake Souls with their wrong fucking model. Do you notice those two models are completely different? You promoted two channels that give out two different models that are both fucking provably wrong. Z. And you didn't point out how they're giving out fallacious arguments. Z. So maybe you aren't as smart as you like to make people think you are with your big vocabulary. Your big vocabulary, it might mask to your audience that you don't have any flat earth content of your own. But to guys like me and Q and Fee, who actually do have content and have been doing this a long time and who know our shit, you're not smart, dude. You're pretend smart. We see right through your dumb fuck ass.
On this virtual reality map, do you?
Turns out their channel's better as far as flat earth content than like 99.9% of the dummy flat earth channels that you could ever find.
Are you aware they've been caught lying over and over and over again, and you still promote them? Are you serious?
It's weird, Dave. So one of the best channels you just say is like one of the worst?
One of the best channels. So now Ronnie and Jason, a couple of homos who live together and like slander me and Q and Fee. Now they're being promoted as one of the best channels all of the sudden.
Let me try to understand this logic. So guys that been caught lying can still be the best channel. What kind of logic is that, idiot?
Why? Because they make you look bad as you continue to basically pump some falsified, untenable model of like what this world is.
Maybe you're not aware. You are a little bit ignorant. Jason and Ronnie do the same as David Weiss, you stupid idiot.
Well, how does the edges work?
Call the map that we promote asteroids.
Yeah, Zetetic Princess Warrior Q and Fee debunked Ronnie and Jason so many times that they had to ditch their model to the point where now they have a Mighty Morphin model. You don't even know what Ronnie and Jason's model looks like because it morphs to wherever the center position is. Wherever Ronnie selects the center position to be, the whole map fucking changes and morphs. So no one even knows what it looks like. But it used to look like this. This is what Ronnie and Jason's map used to look like. And they used to have a sun go across the squiggly, like on the squiggly lines there. And then Q and Fee debunked the shit out of that. So then they got rid of it. Every time Q and Fee would debunk their model, they would change it and then call Q and Fee a liar and a shill after they changed their model. They still do that.
Look at the bullets, right? Yeah, everything.
Well, how does the edges work?
Hey, see, don't you think those two morons are just two imbeciles pushing this asteroids map as reality? When you cross the boundary, you pop up on the other side.
Now, as you can see here, moving, traversing the land masses, there's no edge, there's no boundary, right? The boundaries are within the realm.
The boundaries are within the realm. Do you understand that? See, I don't. Are they not mistaking boundaries for borders? Maybe. You know, country borders. I cannot spot any boundaries in this map of reality. Can you see?
You're goofy, Dave. You're goofy anyway. Much love.
Goofy versus Goofy. And then we choose Goofy. Yeah, then we promote Goofy. And what is this shit with these trannies? Rachel and Brenda?
I think it's part of Z's contract. I swear it's like a contractual obligation that Zetetic Warrior invites not only one transformer, but two transformers on every single live stream he does. Swear to God, every live stream I've seen this guy right here do, he brings on a transformer who thinks the earth is flat and rising. And then he brings on another transformer who thinks the earth is a globe. And then they argue. They have a Jerry Springer style transformer fucking argument. And he loves it. And he does this on every stream. He has the transformers come on, the globe transformer and the rising earth transformer. and he gives them his platform. Guys, I would never hand over my platform to a couple of transformers to argue. Never. And I would hope that if I ever did that, you guys would call me out for it. Like I'm going to call this guy out for it. Look at this. This is a dude. And it's not even like I'm being mean. This is like straight up like it's a dude. And he doesn't even make it like he doesn't even try and make it out like he's actually a girl.
Two guys think they are the woman. Why you not ask this guy what he uses to fill up his bra? And it looks like he's waiting for you with his mouth open. And can you tell us a little bit more about Jeranism's penis? It seems you are obsessed with it.
And no, I'm not going to bring up Jeran's penis again. I mean, we can go by dick size. If that's the case, we know who number one is. I mean, Jeran, I tip my hat to you and your dick.
And it's okay.
Okay. So here's the last thing I'm going to say about this character. He is literally obsessed with Jeran's dick. And his best friend Nachikita always recommends that everyone watch this guy. And then when you watch this guy, you get to watch Transformers and him talk about how obsessed he is with Jeran's dick. Anybody who doesn't believe that this man is obsessed with Jeran's dick, check out this evidence right here.
Seems you are obsessed with it.
And no, I'm not going to bring up Jeran's penis again. I mean, we can go by dick size. If that's the case, we know who number one is. I mean, Jeran, I tip my hat to you and your dick.
And it's okay that you have a penis?
Tedic warriors, tiny penis.
You are a worthy man and that your penis is okay?
My penis. I've actually been quite cruel to my penis. I've never truly loved my penis.
The fact that you do have a penis. You have to love your penis. That's the first step.
For those of you who don't, I've been friends with Jeran's penis for a long time.
I want you to say, I love you, penis.
I'm actually obsessed with Jeran's penis, if you want to know the truth. I'm obsessed with it. He's cool, but he's not nearly as cool as Jeran's penis. We're really good friends, Jeran's penis and I.
And your penis is going to bring you.
I can't stop talking about how big his penis is.
Because nobody here cares about your penis, Jeran. Your big penis that nobody cares about. I'm actually obsessed with Jeran's penis. You're just a head penis and we're all penises. With his fucking circumcised Jew penis, because your big dick and your flat earth, they don't go together. Big old penis, your apparently large monster penis. Big eggplant-sized penis. Good for you, Jeran. God apparently blessed you with a huge mandingo penis. Not everything's about your penis. If we can get past Jeran's penis when they hear people discussing their penis. We're already talking about penises? Yes. Have said penis. Probably enjoy when they hear people discussing their penis. They're so intent on talking about their penis. The weird part is those individuals seem to talk about their penis a lot. If I talk about their penis, talking about their penis.
You've had a penis in your mouth. The first time the penis was in your mouth.
Call back.
So I can Google Frank Sinatra's penis size. Apparently Frank Sinatra had a huge penis. He apparently had a monster cock.
It's monster penis. He apparently has a huge cock. Jeran's penis. It was obviously you, Jeran, from Jeranism. I came on and started making fun of his monster penis. He apparently has a huge cock.
Which penis it is?
Monster fat penis. Penis. Fuck the penis of Michelle Obama's penis. Big, beautiful, glorious black penis. Huge penis. Has a big black penis.
And this is weird, even though he has a humongous penis, apparently. Like the penis of a 10-inch penis.
Does he have two balls or one, Jeran's penis?
Or Jeran's penis.
He ran around telling everybody about his penis. Pretended to be Jeran's penis.
You're not the only one. You're not the only penis that's been in there. Like,
hey guys, this is King Steven hanging out with Z, who's obsessed with Jeran's penis. And King Steven is also obsessed with Jeran's penis. Here they are having a conversation about Jeran's penis. This is the guy who wanted to email a link, you guys. This is the guy who emailed me and wanted to put a link to his own channel in the chat. He wants you to know who he is so badly. He's obsessed with Jeran's penis. He likes to hang out with Zetetic Princess Warrior and Transformers and start drama. And the highlight of his day is if I bring him up. And if I don't bring him up, he's got to come over here and bring himself up. That's how big of a fat lop-ass loser he is. He has to come over here, call himself Jake Hull's friend, and then try and post a link to his own channel that nobody wants to watch. I wonder why. It's because you're a fat lop who hangs out with Z and talks about penises.
Like,
this is Jeran's penis.
Like, he's really tiny.
So do you know that he apparently has a monster penis?
I don't mean his penis.
For those of you who don't know, I've been friends with Jeran's penis for a long time with it. All right, Jeran's penis. Because you're his actual penis. All right, Jeran's penis. Maybe we should end it here. Jeran's penis. What else has been going on in your life, Jeran's penis? Well, here's the thing, Jeran's penis. Wait, Jeran's penis. It could be you are his penis. Great, Jeran's penis. I'm glad you can be here tonight. With your big old penis showing the pictures of your apparently large monster penis. Right, the ratio to Jeran's penis. So if I can get past your penis, God apparently blessed you with a huge mandingo penis. Not everything's about your penis. Fascinated with Jeran's penis. I know Jeran's penis, I know. Listen, yeah, I know Jeran's penis. I get it. Oh, really, Jeran's penis? I am his dick. Jeran, and I am his penis. Jeran, but really Jeran's penis? Jeran's abnormally large penis. Hi, Jeran's penis. Jeran's penis, we're waiting for you. It's Jeran's abnormally large penis. Hi, Jeran's penis, are you there? Broke his penis. 2 times he broke his penis. Broke his penis twice. Broke his penis just once. Penis, and your rather large penis. Don't lose your penis, everybody. Hold on to it. Only slightly less obsessed with his penis than he is.
You can talk about penises as much as you like. You have a song about his penis.
Do you know that he has a monster penis? Are you aware of that? Jeran's penis is way better than Jeran. Jeran's penis is like good buddies. Jeran's penis. We had a special guest. His name was Jeran's penis. He came and visited us. Jeran's penis may need his whole Jeran's penis. And that's just so long as the penis is tucked away in the butthole. Increase your penis size. A rather large penis. Same with penis. Big Johnson penis knows about Jeran's extremely large monster penis.
Jeran's penis been in there.
So here's one of the transformers that hangs out on the show. This is the globe believing transformer. And then here's King Stephen hanging out on the same channel. See? And this is the guy that wanted to get in here and share a link to his channel. As if anybody in my audience would give a shit and want to watch him. And guys, this penis talk just goes on and on and on and on. The penis talk just don't stop.
What do you think of Jeran's penis being beat up? And Jeran's penis has kind of been crying and hurting. And Jeran's penis.
Who do you think beats Jeran's penis off more, Jeran or Del? I wonder.
Jeran's penis challenged him.
I would still consider Jeran's penis as a flat earther because that his penis remained in the flat earth. It would be Jeran's penis.
He beat his penis. Jeran's penis has been crying and hurting for the past hour or so.
You know, Jeran's penis and I are good friends. So, your penis. You seem like you could think Jeran's penis. Maybe your penis should start its own. Hey, Jeran's penis, do you want to start a YouTube channel? And Jeran's penis. When your penis is large as me, I don't have a name other than Jeran's penis. Jeran's penis, welcome back. You would do a stream on his dick.
Yeah. I'm just entitled Jeran's dick.
Or Jeran and his monster penis, large penis. You found a healthy relationship with your penis? The penis. But let's do our best to put Jeran's penis aside and continue with the convo, please. Jeran's penis aside. Right, well. And it's hard to put Jeran's penis aside. Because about being Jeran's monster penis, I'm detachable. What, as Jeran's penis? I'm Jeran's penis. Jeran's penis, am having an affair with Jeran's wife. Hard enough to be Jeran's penis. I mean, Jeran's penis. Sorry, I want to introduce myself. My name's Jeran's penis. Jeran's penis. Welcome back to the show, Jeran's penis. Are you impressed with Jeran's monster penis? Jeran's penis. Jeran's penis understands. Like Jeran's penis.
And yeah, that's basically the way the video ends. So Q and Feed has this software where he can locate a certain word, and it doesn't matter if the stream's like 4 hours, he can locate this certain word and then have it cut right to that certain part. So he has like some software that he uses to catch all these. So Q and Feed didn't sit through 100 hours or more of Zetetic Warrior and then cut out all the penis parts. Apparently he's got a program where he can just type in the word penis and then find all the times that Zetetic Warrior said it. And then he can easily just stick them all back to back to back. So that's what you get when you listen to the Zetetic Warrior Princess show. You get Transformers and Jeran's penis talk. And then with any leftover time, they talk about how the earth is rising. And these are the guys who want to be the captains and the leaders of the flat earth cult community. They fancy themselves the leaders. And one Ballers, he was like, "What is this? This is disgusting. I'm leaving." So there was a guy who like was donating and into the stream, but then when I played that last clip, because it said penis too many times, one of my subs who donates is like, "This is disgusting. It says penis." And he like ran away. And one ballers, bro. I was showing how a shill acts. It's not disgusting. It just shows you what he does on his channel. Hearing someone say penis a bunch of times isn't really disgusting. I was exposing who he is and what he's about. Anyway. Never know. That might be the last time I see N1 Ballers. He just likes to talk about penises. I'm never going back there again. That's why I saved it for the end of the stream. Gust says truth. Truth, Gust. Truth. All right. And I'll play one last clip before I get out of here. I'll play the clip of Jeran and Karen B in space because it was also requested. So I'll play one last Q&A video, just a little bit, and then we'll go ahead and get out of here. But this one right here is way better than the penis video, I promise. Promise it's better than that one.
Legendary astronauts, Karen B and David Weiss. Let's not waste any time and go directly live to the International Space Station.
Hi, Limpy Craig. We hear you loud and clear. Welcome to the International Space Station. So, you know, we have a pretty good gym up here. So both David Weiss and me are big fans of working out. That's been one of those things that, you know, even on the ground, you're going for a run or going to a gym and lifting weights, always make you feel better.
Look at these lying morons. Karen B and David Weiss are not in the motherfucking space station. Anyone can see this is CGI. These people are dumber than dog shit.
Tell us about that exciting experiment, please.
Yesterday, David Weiss and me did an experiment to see if David's 1-inch penis could grow to 2-inch in space.
How much did it grow?
No, Greg. It did not become larger, but the size decreased with 33% due to microgravity.
Karen, I heard you have more news for us. Could you tell us about it?
3 days ago, Jeranism and I experimented with space sperm, and I am so happy to tell you I'm pregnant.
Where is the happy upcoming daddy? Is he floating around somewhere?
Jeranism is hanging around the space body, of course.
Hi, this is Jeranism here. And Karen B is correct about the space potty being my favorite place on the ISS. I'm going to show where our delicious space food and drinks come from. Oh, shit. Oh, I'm dropping the fucking screw. I don't know, nobody's seen it.
Fucking Jeranism. Dumber than dog shit. How can this screw drop in microgravity?
Oh, wait. Maybe it dropped into this food dispenser. It looks delicious. I'm going to save this for later. Where is that fucking screw?
You stupid motherfucker. Screws should float in microgravity. You dumb fuck.
Wait. Maybe it dropped behind this panel. Let me take this panel off from the food dispenser. Maybe I should call a fucking mechanic from Earth to help me with this fucking panel. These idiot flat earthers are going to say I am a fraud because screws cannot fall in microgravity. Here is where all the magic happens. When astronauts take a dump, the poop is going through all these tubes and it fills automatically these tiny hand size bags. You think this was David Weiss's burrito from last night?
I'm getting fucking hungry after seeing this. This food dispenser is even better than Chinese takeaway, and it even come with a napkin.
Can you demonstrate to us how you consume that?
Looks nice and moisty, and it smells a bit nutty. You want to have a bite, Craig? It tastes a little bit like a burrito, and the jalapeno make it a bit more spicy. Look, here. Stupid flat earthers. I can make food fly, and we can not do that on Earth because space is real.
Do you see, stupid motherfuckers? This flying food is real. And when Jeranism dropped the screw, that part was fake as fuck.
I had sex with MC Toon the other day.
We had sex for about 33 times, and it was pure experimental.
And I had sex with Brenda a couple of times.
Same with Michael Toon. He visits me almost every weekend, and he is saying, I'm the hottest thing on planet Earth.
I have to admit that Craig and I are trying to get Brenda pregnant, and we do that in the name of science.
Hear these stupid motherfuckers. They are dumber than dog shit. Do I need to explain these two clowns? Brenda is not able to become pregnant because Brenda is a man, you stupid motherfuckers.
Hi, people. This is Jeranism here. Reporting from space that the screw is still missing, and if necessary, I dismantle the whole space station to find that fucking screw.
I have a confession to make, and I wrote it down because there is so much to tell. When I was in the Navy, I had sex with fish and also dolphins, and when I worked as zookeeper, I had sex with most animals, and even a skunk. The rattlesnake was tickling my nuts, and it was pretty nice. While I was having sex with the animals, I was patting them and talked softly with a sexy voice. And sometimes I light up candles because animals like to be romantic with me. And now I am saying goodbye to Karen B and David Weiss with his tiny dick.
Thanks for having us fight the fat shirt.
Bye.
Goodbye, Craig. And I don't have a tiny dick, you piece of shit. Hey, Karen, look how high the ceiling is.
Yes, Dave. That's because we are in a studio.
Let's do it again. 5, 10, 15, 20 feet.
Aha, Dave, this is so much fun. I want to go home, Dave. My vagina smells exactly like your feet.
This is Jeranism from Jeranism here on board at the International Space Station. As you can see behind me, the Earth is not flat anymore because the sun lights up the Earth, and I need to. I mean, I have terrible diarrhea after eating David Weiss, his burrito from the food dispenser, and I need a dump on the space potty. Holy fuck! I feel something coming. I think there is plenty of guacamole for the whole crew after I'm done here. Holy, holy, holy. I made some guacamole. What the fuck was that? Oh shit. Stupid me. I forgot to take of the plastic back before I eat it. Sorry for the small break. But a man needs to shit sometimes. And especially after David Weiss, his burrito from the food dispenser, and I think the toilet needs replacement.
I am going to replace the tank after Jeranism
filled it with guacamole. This is just an empty tank that can hold about 30 loads or just one big load like Jeranism did.
It's not my problem. We just need a bigger reservoir. You won't believe it. But on a good day, I fill up 3 of those canisters.
Can you believe that shit? Filling 3 of these containers with shit in one go. That is fucking amazing. Fucking NASA is going to use Jeranism's guacamole as rocket fuel. Holy fuck. I just realized reaching Mars suddenly become possible thanks to Jeranism's guacamole.
Sean Hawkins is correct for once, and we are going to discover more Earth-like planets thanks to this new rocket fuel.
Maybe I am stupid, but I wonder if my car runs on this guacamole fuel, and if it does, I'm going to build a space station toilet in my living room and ask if Jeranism come over to get things started. And maybe I need to build 2 of them, one for day and one for the night. You fucking morons. Never thought of that. I am fucking smart.
This was Jeranism reporting live from the International Space Station.
All right. So Dcran4D says, how do I get a wrench? You support me. Keep showing up to every stream. Send me super chats regularly, and you will just randomly have a wrench. So people who show up the most and send super chats, I usually will be like, oh, well, that person's been showing up a lot and supporting me a lot. So then I just give them a wrench. It's usually that simple. All right. So there you go. Excellent work by Q and Fee, making Jeran's face and then getting the AI voices to like match up and sound decent. Apparently, Q and Fee worked on that video for over 30 hours, which is a lot. And he doesn't get the credit he deserves for how awesome of a video this is. I couldn't pull this off. I could never pull this off. I don't even know how to begin to make a video like this. So give it up to Q and Fee, y'all, for that one. Make sure you're subscribed. That's his most recent video. And then Q and Fees with an apostrophe S is his backup channel. And that's the channel with the with Will Duffy's possible criminal charges. All right. All right. Dcran says, well, shit, learn something every day. Hopefully you guys learned something new. For those of you who already knew about Jeran and Dave and you already knew about their history with me and that they're shills, well, then you heard my prediction that I think Jeran's going to flip-flop on the moon landing. So if you missed that part, Jeran is most likely going to flip-flop on the moon landing because people are getting bored with him being a globe earth cuck, and he's not getting very many views anymore. So now they got to use him for another psychological operation, and he's already dropping hints that he might think that the moon landing is real if he's given enough evidence, if somebody can answer his questions, which is what I think is going to happen. So, to my knowledge, I'm the first one who's going to make that prediction and get out in front of it. We'll see what happens. All right. Misanthropic said, didn't know you were streaming. I usually send out a reminder to you and to Rose and to Jonna, and it slipped my mind today. I got the stream set up, and then I spent like probably 3 hours prepping for the stream because there was so much stuff that I went over. I forgot to send out the text to your husband, and I forgot to send out a text to Jonna and Rose, but they made it here. But sorry, I usually send out a reminder text, so I'll make sure next time I stream to send your husband a reminder. My fault for not sending that out. Anyway, I just went over a bunch of shit that you already pretty much know about Jeran and Dave, and the only new thing that you probably haven't heard is that I think Jeran's going to flip-flop on the moon landing. So you already know my history with Jeran and Dave, so pretty much you didn't miss anything that you didn't already know. And I didn't do like a bunch of funny stuff in the stream. It was mostly shill busting. So, all right. And with that said, I am done shill busting. I'm tired, getting hungry. And then I'll have to take my dog out. And before I go, I'll have my dog say goodbye. Good puppy. There's my wealth. There's Ralphie. And say goodbye, Ralph. Say goodbye, Ralphie. Ralphs. Bye, everyone. Thanks for watching. All right. So with that said, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for hanging out while I busted these shills balls. You know, I know they're going to keep doing what they're doing, but the more people who know and the more people who point out what they're doing, the harder it is for them to do what they're doing and pull it off convincingly. So if anything, I'm glad to be a thorn in the side of a really evil man. Or several evil men. All right, y'all. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video or the next stream. Catch you later. Peace out. Good. Love you all. Good night.